welcome back everyone. So again, we'll just start the session with a few minutes of quiet sitting. during the session today, or also tomorrow during the Silent Day, you see me hand the microphone to Venerable Namjong for a few prayers. That's the reason. I just need some break in my voice. So don't be surprised. But generally, I think it's okay. I know how to take care of it quite well. So we can start with the abbreviated calling of Lama Guru Mufar, which I apologize I forgot to do yesterday. turn to the appendix 3 for the direct meditation on the gradual path. As it's encompassing all the Buddhas, originator of all the holy Dharma, the scriptures and realization, principle of all those arts and tending virtues, glorified holy Gurus, I go for refuge. Please, Guru, bless my mind to become the Dharma to become the path.
That action and result are so profound. The suffering of evil gone transmigratory beings is difficult to bear. And therefore, to go for refuge in the depths of my heart, the three very sublime ones, abandon negative karma, accomplish the practice of virtue according to the Dharma. Please bless me to see that independence upon that, even though I achieve the higher rebirth of a laborer human, I'll have to experience suffering endlessly in samsara, because of not having abandoned and being under the control of the disturbing thought obscurations. And therefore, by reflecting well upon the way of cycling in samsara, be able to follow continuously day and night the path of the three types of precious higher trainings, which is the principal method liberating from samsara. Independence upon that, even though I achieve mere liberation, please bless me to see that there is no sentient being of the six types that has not been my father and mother, and therefore thinking I must fulfill their purpose, may be able to reverse the mind seeking the lower happiness in nirvana, and by way of equalizing and exchanging myself for others, generate the precious mind of enlightenment bodhicitta, and follow the conduct of the sons of the victorious ones, bodhisattvas, six paramitas, and so forth. By having trained my mind in the common path like that, experiencing the sufferings of samsara for a long time, that upset me, by regarding sentient beings with extraordinary and bearable compassion, please bless me so that I may enter the quick path of the Vajrayana teachings, protect my vows and samaya more than my life, and accomplish the unified Vajrayana state. Brief lifetime and only in this standard time. Namo Guru Lokeshvaraya. Praise to the beautiful forearmed Lord of the world, sublime embodiment emanating from the unity of all the victorious ones, three times. Possessor of all knowledge and holder of the lotus, your immaculate feet beautifully ornament my crown. May all the pollution of myself and others be washed away, by the cruelty of your compassion, great loving protector, sole refuge of pitiful transmigrating beings who have no guide. You generated bodhicitta first, and then reached the extreme limit. O merciful one, please bless me with your compassionate eye, the beings of the evil gone, caught in realms difficult to escape, experiencing the individual results of evil actions, the hell beings, the pretas, the animals, the serfs, and so on. Behold with compassion the thoughtless ones who return empty-handed, even their high rebirth was without meaning. The human bodies were so rare and fragile, but their lives were consumed only in suffering. Amidst their endless actions, the Lord of Death arrived. Behold with compassion tough-skinned beings like me, who maintain a religious manner but do not achieve the great meaning, being overwhelmed by attachment, hatred, and worldly concerns, without having subdued our minds by observing cause and result. Compassion, please lead us without refuge in the path. When our vision of this life fades, vision of self-created karma arises the enemy in the bardo. You are taken on a precipitous route by Yama's messenger. Look upon us with compassion, O Lama Chenrizik, either attached by compassion to all sentient beings, with a special snow refuge of the snowland, and others quickly attain your state of enlightenment. Now back to the instantaneous generation. I instantaneously arise as the holy body of the great compassionate one. Om Manda Great Om Pem Zabawa Shira Zavadama Zabawa Zidoham. The offering substance has become just empty. From within emptiness from room syllables, vast and extensive precious vessels arise. Within each the syllable Om melts into light. Amidst the light, drinking water, water for the feet, flowers, incense, lamps, perfume, food, and music. Empty in nature, they have the aspect of the individual types of offerings, and function to bestow a special uncontaminated bliss. Alakya Om Gyandaya Om Devarya Om Shada. I go for refuge in the name and light into the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. My collection to generosity and so forth, for Buddha to benefit all migrating beings. I go for refuge in the name and light into the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. My collections of generosity and so forth, for Buddha to benefit all migrating beings. I go for refuge in the name and light into the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. Collections of generosity and so forth, for Buddha to benefit all migrating beings. The thought desiring to liberate migrating beings, I always go for refuge, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until the heart of enlightenment is achieved. Perseverance, acting with wisdom, compassion, and loving kindness, the presence of the Buddhas, benefit of sentient beings, and the thought of enlightenment. Thought desiring to liberate migrating beings, I always go for refuge, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the heart of enlightenment is achieved. With perseverance, acting with loving compassion and loving kindness, presence of the Buddhas, benefit of sentient beings, and the thought of enlightenment. The thought desiring to liberate migrating beings, I always go for refuge, with Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the heart of enlightenment is achieved. Perseverance, acting with wisdom, compassion, and loving kindness, presence of the Buddhas, and the benefit of sentient beings, generate the thought of enlightenment. Rays of light emanate from the right or he, rest on the moon disk at the heart of oneself, as the great visualizer, the great compassionate one. Invoking from the natural abode our Gurya or every compassionate one. Having the aspect of 11 faces, surrounded by the lineage gurus, the assembly of deities, the great compassionate one, and an assembly of meditational deities, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Dakas, and Dakinis, Dharma protectors and guardians, all abiding in the space of before me, on a wide-stemmed, thousand-petaled lotus. Embodying all Buddhas and holders of the Vajra, fruits of the three sublime ones, to all gurus I prostrate. One never tires of seeing your Vajra body's beauty, its qualities beyond thought, to gurus' forms I prostrate. Melodious Brahma light speech roars like the mighty lion, terrifies non-believers, to gurus' speech I prostrate. Wisdom of bliss and voidness, like spaces free of concepts, dwelling in triple freedom, to gurus' minds I prostrate. Sukata Dharmakaya, you seal 6 realms beings. 11th head pervades all, Amitabha I prostrate. Who helps according to need, with eyes of 1,000 Buddhas, with arms of 1,000 Parnaks, to Chenri's ego I prostrate. Dakini Lakshman Kara, Marianda Vajana. Yeshe Zambo Da Gyalzin, the lineage I prostrate. Chenri's great compassion, Manjushri's mindful knowing. Tsongkhapa, jewel of sages, Lozang Drakpa, I prostrate. Guarding with great compassion, oceans of boundless merit. Founders who are all knowing, Tathagatas, I prostrate. The path of sublime healing, which frees us from our passions, frees us from suffering realms, to Dharma's peace I prostrate. Sugata Dharmakaya, you seal 6 from beings. 11th head pervades all. Abiding in 3 trainings, showing the path of freedom, endowed with realization, sublime Sangha prostrate, born into the Shakya clan, destroyer of all evils, born like a golden mountain. Shaka's king I prostrate, a refuge for the guideless, you see all 6 realms beings. 11th head, 6, refuge for the, refuge for the guideless, you prevent untimely death. Chief of the guides of this world, Amitayas I prostrate. Bhagwan with great compassion, you cleanse every poison sickness. Purify bad migrations, Matas Buddha, you prostrate. You with youthful appearance, adorn the lamp of wisdom. Dispel darkness of 3 worlds, to Manjushri I prostrate. Much praised by all the Buddhas, vast merits you collected. Even the name Chenrezig, always to you I prostrate. Zengedra Nijnor Pumabarwa Danyashop. And to you hala hala Holchin Rizigs I prostrate. Pagandor Jechu One True Dring on and Hari Hari. Eyes of 10 directions, Holchin Rizigs I prostrate. Tari frees from samsara to Tari from he appears. Tari frees from all disease, Mother Tara high prostrate. You scare his Mahabala, his mantra king, your virtues. Taming all the unsubdued, Vajrapani I prostrate. Equaling all the atoms of earth, my body's prostrate. With confidence unshaking, to all is worthy of praise. Homage to these flowing Manjushri. You lions among humans of past, present, and future. In all corners of this world, along my 3 doors I bow. By power of this prayer, seeing Buddhas directly, I bow to them with bodies as many as all atoms. Each atom are Buddhas as many as all atoms. Like this I have conviction that everywhere are Buddhas. Acclaiming all these Buddhas with endless oceans of praise. Ocean-like moody sounds, I sing Sugata's praises. The best of all the flowers, garland symbols and ointments, and parasols and incense I offer to the conquerors. Supreme fragrance as garments, not mirror of medicines. Exquisite things well displayed I offer to the conquerors. With strong faith in good actions I prostrate to all conquerors, and offer them these offerings, extensive and unsurpassed. Offering goddesses arise from the created one's heart and make offerings. Maria Luis Vara Zabari Wan Aram Gadija Soha Maria Luis Vara Zabari Wan Adyam Pradija Soha Maria Luis Vara Zabari Wan Uzbe Soha Maria Lugis Varam Riva Ube Pratija Zua Maria Lugis Vara Zabariwa Alage Pratija Zua Maria Lugis Vara Zabariwa Yende Pratija Zua Maria Lugis Vara Zabariwa Nivedye Pratija Zua Maria Lugis Vara Zabariwa Nanda Pratija Zingambuyu Om Bendabumiyahu Monzen Zegizaji Om Bendavigilahu Jidarivo Yugi Gorwayozu Rigya Buri Rajalu Babo Zorzambudi Zubalanju Jandraminya Dudangabangaya Dangaya Yudenda Lanja Draminian Draminian Gita Nimbajari Om Padagi Dojo Yiba Namo Bayi Lodo Olorin Boje Noborin Boje Lindarin Boje Lindarin Boje Nambarin Boje Rinpoche, Mabo Rinpoche, Yejinbo Yibon Bhagya Madringwama, Luma Gama, Medama, Zuboma, Zoma Drijama, Nima Dawa, Boje Du, Jole Number Gawe Gyalzen, Uzularami, Belge Bunzum Doba Mazawame, Ani Nido Hongwadi Da Jinjin Zawarangi Bajebe, Namana Bananda Gibadu Yampadu Duje Jimbo Hazo Gora, Nanama Jingambu Wargyo, Jejo Wedam Du Jesus O Jene Danda Zadro Mange Daranyam, Jentam Jela Degdewa Jingo Boni Jingila Tuzo. Whatever evil I have done with my body, speech, and mind, under the control of attachment, hatred, and confusion, ignorance, I confess them all individually. Tumde dedication to Bradada beyond the Bezagi of Rinching Gals on the Jacksalo. Tumde dedication to Bradada beyond the Bezagi of Rinching Gals on the Jacksalo. Tumde dedication to Bradada beyond the Bezagi of Rinching Gals on the Jacksalo. Tumde dedication to Bradada beyond the Bezagi of Rinching Gals on the Jacksalo. Tumde dedication to Bradada beyond the Bezagi of Rinching Gals on the Jacksalo. Tumde dedication to Bradada beyond the Bezagi of Rinching Gals on the Jacksalo. Tumde dedication to Bradada beyond the Bezagi of Rinching Gals on the Jacksalo. Nama Bhagavane Ranikit Rajaya Dadikaya Radizimik Samburaya Hayata Rane Rane Man Rane Rane Vijay Soha Nama Bhagavane Ranikit Radikaya Radizimik Samburaya Hayata Rane Rane Man Rane Rane Vijay Soha Nama Bhagavane Ranikit Rajaya Dadikaya Radizimik Samburaya Hayata Rane Rane Man Rane Rane Vijay Soha No Bhagavate Radikita Ratiya Dadikata Yada Mixambudaya. Tayato Ramranira Maharanira Nibidaya Soha. No Bhagavate Radikita Rajaya Dadikata Yada Mixambudaya. Tayato Ramranira Maharanira Nibidaya Soha. No Bhagavate Radikita Rajaya Dadikata Yada Mixambudaya. Tayato Ramranira Maharanira Nibidaya Soha. No Bhagavate Radikita Rajaya Dadikata Yada Mixambudaya. Tayato Ramranira Maharanira Nibidaya Soha. Om Namo Manjushri Namah Sushri Namah Uttama Shri Soham. Om Namo Manjushri Namah Sushri Namah Uttama Shri Soham. Om Namo Manjushri Namah Sushri Namah Uttama Shri Soham. I attend the Gajati at all times, take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. I attend the Gajati at all times, take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. I attend the Gajati at all times, take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. The founder Bhagavan Haragata Buddha, who is Kafir Shaki, many Buddha prostrate. Buddha thoroughly strong with adorations are prostrate, Buddha radiant jewel I prostrate. Buddha King Lord of the Nagas I prostrate, Buddha army of heroes I prostrate, Buddha lighted hero I prostrate, Buddha radiant jewel fire I prostrate. Buddha Jumbo Night I prostrate, Buddha meaning for the sea I prostrate. Buddha Jumbo I prostrate, Buddha stainless one I prostrate, Buddha bestowed of courage I prostrate. Buddha pure one I prostrate, Buddha bestowed of purity I prostrate. Buddha water God I prostrate, Buddha deity of the water God I prostrate. Buddha glorious goodness I prostrate, Buddha glorious sandalwood I prostrate. Buddha endless splendor I prostrate, Buddha glorious flood I prostrate. Buddha soundless glory I prostrate. Buddha son of non-craving I prostrate. Buddha glorious flower I prostrate. Buddha pure light is glistening by play I prostrate. Buddha lotus light is glistening by play I prostrate. Buddha glorious wealth I prostrate. Buddha glorious mindfulness I prostrate. Buddha glorious name mighty renowned I prostrate. Buddha King holy victor in the formless power I prostrate. Buddha glorious one totally subduing I prostrate. Buddha utterly victorious in battle I prostrate. Buddha glorious transcendent to subduing I prostrate. Buddha glorious manifestation submitting all I prostrate. Buddha also doing the lotus I prostrate. Buddha harp of the Buddha. Queen of the Lord of Mountains, from us the lotus I prostrate. The founder Bhagavan Hadana, the Palagan Vedish Buddha, with Kakishaki Mini Buddha prostrate. The Gada thoroughly destroyed of blood essence I prostrate. The Gada Bean and Jewel I prostrate. The King Lord of Naga I prostrate. The Gada Army of Heroes I prostrate. The Gada Glided Hero I prostrate. The Gada Jewel Fire I prostrate. The Gada Jewel Moonlight I prostrate. The Gada Meaning from the Sea I prostrate. The Gada Lotus Glorious Moon. Jewel Moon I prostrate. The Gada Stillness One I prostrate. The Gada Sword of Courage I prostrate. The Gada Pure One I prostrate. The Gada the Sword of Purity I prostrate. The Gada Water God I prostrate. The Gada Deity of the Water God I prostrate. The Gada Glorious Goodness I prostrate. The Gada Glorious Sandalwood I prostrate. The Gada Infinite Splendor I prostrate. The Gada Glorious Light I prostrate. The Gada Starless Glory I prostrate. The Gada Starless Uncraving I prostrate. The Gada Glorious Glorious Flower I prostrate. The Gada Pure Light is glistening in my play I prostrate. The Gada Lotus Light is glistening in my play I prostrate. The Gada Sana. The Gada Glorious Wealth I prostrate. The Gada Glorious Mindfulness I prostrate. Glorious name, my living and I prostrate. The King of the victor and from his power I prostrate. Glorious when Tedlis doing I prostrate. The victorious in battle I prostrate. Glorious transcendences are doing I prostrate. Glorious manifestations of all I prostrate. Also doing the words I prostrate. Buddha, King Lord of the Mountains, fill me seated and let us prostrate. So the founder Bhagavan had a good Buddha's Buddha, glorious conquer Shakimani, but I prostrate. To the son of fairly destroying the bad essence I prostrate. Read in July prostrate. King Lord of the Mountains I prostrate. Sir, army of heroes I prostrate. Lady hero I prostrate. To the Jum fire I prostrate. Jamuna I prostrate. Sir, meaning to the sea I prostrate. Jamuna I prostrate. To that had I got a Zanus when I prostrate, I got a episode of courage I prostrate, I got a pure and I prostrate, I got a episode of purity I prostrate, I got glory, water got I prostrate, I got deity of the water got I prostrate, I got a glorious goodness I prostrate, I got a glorious sandalwood I prostrate, I got infinite splendor I prostrate, I got a glorious light I prostrate, I got a set of craving I prostrate, a starless glory I prostrate, I got a set of giving I prostrate, I got a glorious flower I prostrate, I got a pure feel it with clearly no play I prostrate, I got a lotus let this clearly no play I prostrate. I got a glorious wealth I prostrate, I got a glorious mindfulness I prostrate, I got a glorious name, my name, and I prostrate, I got a king's land, king's son, from the victory, been a promise power I prostrate. To that head, I got a glorious name, one, glorious one, how to doing I prostrate. To that I got a out of the victorious in battle I prostrate, I got a glorious transcendence to doing I prostrate. To that I got a glorious manifestation, to that all I prostrate, that I got also doing the letters I prostrate. I got a heart, look at the Buddha, king of the mountains, from the city, the letters I prostrate. The Bhagavan that I got a like a British Buddha, and I'm going to good signs of prostrate to the Bhagavan that I got a heart like a British Buddha. King of Buddha, sound ability into skill, of the Jews, man, let us prostrate to the Bhagavan that I got a heart like a British Buddha. Still as excellent gold, and as excellent gold. With the jewels of conscious, all conduct I prostrate. The Bhagavan that I got a like a British Buddha. Who is the payment taking sorry I prostrate to the Bhagavan that I got a Buddha. Glorious, glorious ocean of proclaimed down my prostrate. The Bhagavan had to look at the Buddhist Buddha. Clearly, the place of being the ocean of down my prostrate. Bhagavan had to look at the Buddhist Buddha. Medicine to steady, and the king of sapphire light, I prostrate. All you 35 Buddhas have medicine Buddhists and others, and many Tathagata Buddhas there are existing, sitting, and residing. All the world system that hinder actually good Bhagavans, please pay attention to me. This life and all those states of rebirth in which I have suffered and start that beginningless lives. Whatever negative actions I have created, made of those created, there is the creation of. What represents the stupid, the song represents the song of the 10 directions that are appropriated. And it is appropriated direction the appropriation of, whichever one the 5 actions of media retribution I have done. Whichever one the 10 virtuous actions I have engaged in, called those to engage in, those to engaging in. So have them being scared by these karmas that cause me to board, and the cylinder being the hell realm, the animal realm, and the preta realm. If this country as a barbarian is long life God, with their faculties, all the wrong views, and not being pleased with Buddhist descent. Yet wisdom or eyes or witnesses were valid and received the mission consciousness, and made it confess these negativities. And will hide them from now on the future, I'll abstain them and them again. For Buddha Bhagavan space of interested in me in this life and other states of rebirth, and which I have circled and sorrow at the beginning of this lives. If it's virtue I created by generosity, with the eagles gives one mouthful of food, with being born in the animal realm. What a virtue I created by God and morality, what a virtue I created by following pure conduct. The virtue created by fully opening such being, what a virtue created by generating bodhicitta, which are created by man's fast senses and for wisdom. So them together to find their ability to get the fast, the unexcelled, that higher than the higher, the superior to the superior, to get the highest perfect complete enlightenment. Superior Spirit Bhagavan fully dedicated to the Purvita Spirit Bhagavan, the will fully dedicate to present divine Bhagavan Bhagavan, fully dedicating like to dedicate fully. Best all negativities individually or duration all merits. Within this call, Buddhas may achieve the highest numberless belief and wisdom. Conquers the best of humans, who is living in the present time, who lives in the past, unauthorized tongues, those who have qualities as asses, and into the ocean with hands folded I approach for refuge. Oh, woe is me, O great Guru of Adadara, all the Buddhists and Bodhisattvas who abide in the 10 directions, and all venerable Sangha, please pay attention to me. I who am named Tenzagache, circling and cycling existence since beginningless time for the present, of the mental fictions of attachment, hatred, and ignorance, having the body, speech, and mind, created in hand on virtuous actions, having engaged in 5 undeductive negative karmas, 5 nearing undeductive negative karmas. I transgress the vows of individual liberation, transgress the vows of bodhisattvas, and transgress the mayas, the secret mantra, and disrespectful to my parents, and disrespectful to my guardian masters and my abbot, and disrespectful to my spiritual friends living in a nation. I commit to the directions harmful to the 3 appearance of blind ones, abandon the holy Dharma, created as the Arya Sangha, and beings, and so on. These and many other non-virtuous active actions I have done, caused others to do, and rejoiced in others doing, and so forth. Present to the great Guru of Adadara, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who abide in 10 directions, the venerable Sangha, and its entire collection of faults and transgressions and obstacles to my own higher rebirth, creation, causes of second existence and miserable lower rebirths. I do not conceal them, I accept that things negative, promise to refrain from doing these actions again in the future. By confessing and acknowledging them, I will obtain and abide in happiness. While not confessing and acknowledging them, true happiness will not come. I rejoice in all pause that it's the potential of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, so to realize training in those beyond the all transmigratory beings. You who are the bright lights of worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's admission to the stages of awakening. All you who are my guides, please send the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you may actualize fairy Nibbana. You save us from the ends and the of atoms of the world. Happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight virtue I have accumulated, if a prostrating, offering, and confessing, requesting the requesting, requesting the full awakening. Mamo gajila zambar bara majuda zala baba vibujin. Da 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 zamanda havalugile umbezu. Mamo gajila zambar bara majuda zala baba vibujin. Da 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 zamanda havalugile umbezu. Namo Gajila Zambara Baraba Juda Zababa Vibuji Dara Dara Zamanta Valugide Umbe Zona. Da 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 Zamanda Umbe Zona. May I maintain faultless morality of the Dharma rules and immaculate morality. I complete the perfection of moral conduct by keeping morality purely and untainted by pride. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and hatred, as all close and distant. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and hatred to those held close and distant. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and hatred, those held close and distant. The deities of the field of collective merit return to their own abodes. Om Zabawa Judo Zawadama Zabawa Judo Om. Natures of myself, the deity to be meditated upon, and all phenomena are vast into one taste and emptiness. From the sphere of emptiness, the aspect of the tone of the mantra or Mani by home resound, pervading their outer space. My mind in the aspect of the undifferentiable suchness of myself and the deity becomes a moon mandala, upon which the very aspect of the tone of the mantra residing in space, set down having the form of written syllables, like very pure mercury adhering to canes of gold. That completely transforms into a thousand-petaled lotus, as brilliant as refined gold, marked at the center by the mantra Mani Padme Hum. From the tips of multicolored light rays emitted from the moon, my lotus and mantra, innumerable holy bodies of the Aryabhalokiteshvara spread out, pervading all the realms of space. Great clouds of miraculously emanated offerings are beautifully offered to the Buddhas and their children. From yet another great emanated cloud, a continuous rain of nectar descends, extinguishing the fires of suffering of all migrators and held by the hells and of the realms. They are satisfied with bliss and become Avalokiteshvara. And the light rays, along with the bodies of the deity, return and enter into one's own mind in the aspect of the moon mandala, lotus, and mantra garland. These transform into a multicolored lotus and moon seat, upon which oneself arises as Aryabhalokiteshvara, with a white-colored body in the prime of youth and radiating rays of light. Of the 11 faces, the root face is white, the right green, and the left red. Above that, the central face is green, the right red, and left white. Above that, the central face is red, the right white, and left green. They also have long, narrow eyes and smiling expressions. Above these is a wrathful black face with barred fangs and wrathful wrinkles, a third eye and orange hair sitting upright. On the crown is a peaceful red face with a crown protrusion, having a chaste aspect devoid of ornaments of its own neck. The first two hands are folded at the heart and hold a jewel. The second right hand holds a rosary. The third eliminates the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghosts, ascending down a stream of nectar from the mudra of getting sublime realizations. The fourth holds a wheel. The second left hand holds a golden lotus with a stem. The third holds a water vessel. The fourth holds a bow and arrow. The remaining 992 hands, as soft as lotus petals, are in the mudra of getting sublime realizations. In the palm of every hand is an eye. The hands do not extend above the crown protrusion or below the knees. An antelope skin covers the left breast, and there is a lower garment of fine cloth. I am endowed with a golden belt adorned with jewels, and beautified with locks of orange hair. I have a jeweled crown, earrings, necklace, armlets, bracelets, and anklets, or garments of various colored silk, and radiant rays of white light. At the crown of the head is the white Om, the throat a red Ah, and the heart a blue Hum. Upon the moon mandala at the heart is a white Hri, a long vowel and a subsequent aspiration. Om Padme Bhavai Soham. Om Padme Bhavai Soham. Padme Bhavai Soham. Padme Bhavai Soham. Padme Bhavai Soham. Light rays radiate from the Hri at the heart, invoking from the natural abode Arya Avalokiteshvara, and by the entire assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Om Arya Loki Bhadasa Parivana Bhadasa Dada Om Om Hum. They become non-dual with oneself, commitment being. Again, light rays radiate from the Hri at one's heart, invoking the empowering deities, the five Buddha families, Amitabha as the principal together with their retinues. Om Panchaguna Sabhavivavrahargam Pradijadu. Om Panchaguna Sabhavivavrahargam Pradijadu. Om Panchaguna Sabhavivavrahargam Om Panchagula Zabariwa Dube Bradija Zuha. Om Panchagula Zabariwa Aloke Bradija Zuha. Om Panchagula Zabariwa Gyande Bradija Zuha. Om Panchagula Zabariwa Vedye Bradija Zuha. Om Panchagula Zabariwa Yada Bradija Zuha. All Tathagatas, please bestow the empowerment upon me. Requested thus the goddess dressed in white and the others, who emitted from the Tathagatas' hearts, all the love passes filled with nectar and say, just as at the very time of birth, David offers ablution to the Buddha, so do I with pure divine water offer ablution to the holy body. Om Saka We bestow the empowerment. Thereby the entire body is filled and all defilements are purified. From a transformation of the exodus water remaining in the crown, the head becomes adorned with an Amitabha on the crown, who is in the very nature of one's guru. Blue akshobi on the forehead, yellow redness above and behind the right ear, white Varachana at the back, and Gita Moghasiddhi behind the left ear. On a moon cushion at one's heart is the exalted wisdom being Arya Avalokiteshvara, with a white-colored holy body, one face and two hands. The right hand is in the mudra of bestowing sublime realizations. The left holds the lotus at his heart. The moon cushion at his heart is marked by the concentration being, a white Hri with a long bow and subsequent aspiration. the great home day. On the ball, you know, the ball, you know. The offering substances become just empty, and with an emptiness from broom syllables, vast and extensive precious vessels arise. Within each the syllable all melts into light, which hurts our eyes, drinking water, water for the feet, flowers, incense, lamps, perfume, food, and music. Empty in nature, they have the aspect of the individual types of offerings, and function to bestow special uncontaminated bliss. Margama, Bharyama, Pushpayaham, Tupayaham, Alokyaham, Gyandayaham, Nividyaham, Shabda. Marya Dugishar Zabariwa Agam Pradijazuha Marya Dugishar Zabariwa Adyam Pradijazuha Marya Dugishar Zabariwa Dujbe Pradijazuha Maria Gizvara Zabariwa Dube Bradijazuha Maria Gizvara Zabariwa Aluge Bradijazuha Maria Gizvara Zabariwa Gende Bradijazuha Maria Lugizvara Zabariwa Vidye Pradijazu Maria Lugizvara Zabariwa Shada Pradijazu. Highly venerated by all the Buddhas, you are accumulated of all holy qualities. For the name of Avalokiteshvara, worship the always merciful one. Om Guru Saradhada Gada Kaya Vajida Vadra Banamena Sawadada Gada Vadra Bada Paranam Karomi Madhamari Jaido Madhamari Jaido Madhamari Jaido Madhamari Jaido Madhamari Jaido. On the moon disk at one's heart is a concentration being the syllable Hri. Surrounded by garlands of the mantras to be recited, white in color and standing clockwise. Light rays radiate from them, filling all the insides of one's body, purifying all negativities and obscurations. Light rays radiate outwards from within incalculable assembly of deities, the great compassionate one are emitted, purifying the negativities and obscurations of all sentient beings, instead of emanating in a state of Arya level of Ishvara. Then collect back and dissolve into the Hri one's heart. Namo Radhadraya Namo Yadyam Zaigavravaraja Murajaya Dhadadadayam Arhade Samyak Zambuddha Azarva Dhadagadevyar Hadevya Zamyak Zambuddhya Namariya Raya Buri Zadvaya Zadvaya Magavrika Ayada Om Darada Hagram Diri Dudu Nidevade Tale Tale Pazale Pazale Kuzume Kuzumaware Emele Dede Balama Bana Yezuha. Dedum dar dar dear. The mandala becomes just empty. From within emptiness, a white broom radiating around 5-colored lit rays separates from the Kri in my heart, becomes the rest of the side of the mandala. It transforms into a multicolored lotus, in which rests a multicolored cross Vajra. Upon its central hub is the inestimable mansion, composed of a variety of jewels. It is square with 4 doors and 4 archways. In the middle of that is an 8-petaled lotus, the center of which is the precious throne, upon which are a variegated lotus and moon. On each of the petals in the 4 cardinal directions is the moon seat. Upon the central cushion is a white syllable Ri, which becomes a white 8-petaled lotus as brilliant as a fine gold, and marked by the syllable Ri. Light rays radiate from it, making offerings to the Arya beings, and enacting the welfare of all sentient beings. They collect back, and from the transformation arises Arya Avalokiteshvara, with a white-colored body in the prime of youth and radiating rays of light. Of the 11 faces, the root face is white, the right green, and the left red. Above that, the central face is green, the right red, and the left white. Above that, the central face is red, the right white, and the left green. They also have long, narrow eyes and smiling expressions. Above these is the wrathful black face with barred fangs and wrathful wrinkles. Third eye and orange hair standing upright. On its crown is a peaceful red face with a crown protrusion, having a chaste aspect devoid of ornaments, and its own neck. The first 2 hands are folded under the heart and the jewel. Second right hand hold the rosary. Third eliminates the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost. The setting the stream of nectar from the mudra, gaining sublime realizations. The fourth holds the wheel. The second left hand holds the golden lotus with the stem. Third holds a water vessel. The fourth holds a bow and arrow. The remaining 992 hands are soft as lotus petals, are in the mudra of granting sublime realizations. In the palm of every hand is an eye. The hand that extend above the ground protrusion of the below the knees. An antelope skin covers the left breast, and there is a lower garment of fine cloth. He is adorned with a golden belt of jewels, and is beautified with locks of orange hair. He has a jeweled crown, earrings, necklace, armlets, and bracelets, and anklets, wears garments of various colored silks, and radiates rays of white light. In the east from home blew Akshabiyab, right hand pressing the earth with left in equipoise. In the south from Tram, yellow Ratnasambhava, right hand giving the sublime, left in equipoise. In the west from Om, right Vajrachana with the mudra of supreme enlightenment. In the north from Ma, in the Moga city, great hand giving refuge left in mudra of equipoise. They are all also beautified with precious ornaments and garments of various silks, and are seated with their legs in the Vajra posture. Upon a lotus and mundi disc, at the heart of the principal deity, is the white Hari, from which light rays radiate, invoking from the portal in the southern direction. Arya Avalokiteshvara, surrounded by the entire assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. They become non-dual with the commitment beings. The crowns of all the deities are marked by a white Om, the throats by a red A, and the hearts by a blue Hom. Again, light rays radiate from the Hri of the central deity's heart, invoking the empowering deities, the 5 Buddha families with Amitabha as their principal, together with their retinues. Panchaguna Zabariva Agam Pradija Panchaguna Zabariva Agam Pradija Panchaguna Zabariva Pradija Panchaguna Zabariva Pradija Panchaguna Zabariva Aluge Pradija Panchaguna Zabariva Yende Pradija Panchaguna Nevidye Pradija Panchaguna Zabariva all that I got is please bestow the empowerment upon him. Requested thus, the goddess dressed in white and the others who were emitted from the Tathagata's hearts hold aloft vases filled with nectar and say, just as at the very time of birth the devas offered ablution to the Buddha, so do I with pure divine water offer ablution to the holy body. Om Zara They bestow the empowerment. Thereby the entire body is filled and all defilements are purified. By transformation of the excess water remaining in the crown, the head becomes adorned with Amitabha on the crown, Lakshobhya on the forehead, Ratnasambhavi behind the right ear, Varochana at the back, and Amoghasiddhi behind the left ear. Om Manta Greed Om Om Sabhavashira Zavadama Sabhavashira Om. The offering substance has become just empty. From within emptiness and from syllables vast and extensive, precious vessels arise. Within each the syllable all melts into light, from which arise drinking water, water for the feet, flowers, incense, lamps, perfume, food, and music. Empty in nature, they have the aspect of the individual types of offerings, and function to bestow a special uncontaminated bliss. Omar Bima Harima Bujbea Mumdubea Omalagea Mumgendea Nirdia Mumjada Omruba Mumjada Gendea Mamaza Sparta Yawa Gyazu Druzil Drube Shingam Gyazu Zillian Gyazu Yundin Gyazu Gyawa Gurjila Deva Gyazu Bulu Jesus O Maria Lugishwa Sabariwa Agam Pratija Zuha Yawa Gyazu Juzele Ruben Singam Gyazu Shabzil Gyazu Zu Yundin Gyazu Gyawa Gurjela Deva Gyazu Bulu Jesus O Maria Lugishwa Sabariwa Adyam Pradija Zuha Yawa Gyazu Juzele Ruben Shingam Gyazu Medo Gyazu Zo Yunden Gyazu Gyawa Gurjila Beba Gyazu Bulu Jesus O Maria Lugishvara Sabariwa Ujbe Pradija Zuha Yawa Gyazu Juzele Druben Shingam Gyazu Dubu Gyazu Zu Yenden Gyazu Gyawa Gurjena Eva Gyazu Bulu Jesus O Maria Lugishvara Sabariwa Ube Pradija Zuha Yawa Gyazu Juzele Druben Shingam Gyazu Namzo Gyazu Zu Yenden Gyazu Gyawa Gurjela Eva Gyazu Bulu Jesus O Maria Lugishvara Sabariwa Aluge Pradija Zuha Yawa Gyazu Juzele Druben Shingam Gyazu Drija Gyazu Zu Yunden Gyazu Gyawa Gurjela Deva Gyazu Bulu Jesus Om Arya Lugishvara Sabariwa Yende Pradija Zuha Yawa Gyazu Juzele Druben Shingam Gyazu Jose Gyazu Zo Yenden Gyazu Gyawa Gurjela Deva Gyazu Bulu Jesus Om Arya Lugishvara Sabariwa Iridye Pradija Zuha Yawa Gyazu Juzele Druben Shingam Gyazu Robo Gyazu Zu Yawa Gurjela Deva Gyazu Bulu Jesus Om Maria Luigi Zabari Wab Sada Bradija Luha Gunam Jingu Girbe Zangela Namaranjan Mebe Zuchodi Kantam Yirme Zengi Bulana Yerme De Jindugi Jesuso Om Maria Logishvara Sabariwa Ruba Bradija Zuma Tunam Jingu Girbe Zangela Amaram Jimbe Dranyandi Dandan Yerme Zemgi Bulana Yerme De Jendugi Jesuso Om Maria Logishvara Sabariwa Sada Vadija Soha Guram Shindu Girbe Sangela Mamaram Jinme Bedri Shokti Nantang Yerme Zengi Bulana Yerme De Chiltugi Jesuzo Om Maria Logishvara Sabariwa Yende Pratija Suha Zona Jindu Girbe Sangela Manaran Jinme Beju Jodi Nandan Yume Zengi Mulana Yeme De Jindu Gi Jesu Om Maria Lokishvara Sabariwa Rasa Pratija Suha Sunam Singdu Girbe Sangela Namaranjil Me Berek Shukti Nandan Yerme Sengi Pulana Yerme Dejen Tugi Jesus Om Maria Lugishvara Zabarivan Sparshva Pradija Zuha Nazo Wambu Juda Rabjawa Gama Regna Dewe Girgirbe Guzam Inchin Dalo Janjirbo Zoka Dambe Kinyi Kempasho O Maria Nam Vada Basdea Zoha Lila Zembe Ranjin Gendenje Genjen Nagi Zemba Mitzelyan Rinchen Genzu Bule Drogengi Zende Gembe Gulu Tobarshok Om Vaja Alam Karu Hapu Shani Ahum Soham Rinchen Zebe Tashi Bumbadi Lasu Chugi Kande Puhai Leran Yomo Drima Gunjane Zandu Sengi Lengi Lambarshu Umbara Kavachahum Yinrandu Hoyo Om Benda Bumea Hum Hoya Zegi Zaji Om Benda Regi Ahum Ji Dari Goyugi Gorwe Uzu Ji Gilbori Raj Zazu Babu Zambuli Mubalanju Chandrani Buddha the Bangaya Yedin Dama Jodro Draminian Gita Doje Griho Mazangitin Kujoyi Ban Momo Kagi Loto Glory Muje No Glory Muje 1,000 arms are 1,000 wheel-turning kings, 2,000 eyes are 1,000 Buddhas. Portrait and offer praise, the venerable beloved Lakshmana who shows whatever needs to be subdued, to be subdued. Though the Dharmakaya is separable like space, we form bodies visible like rainbows. Portrait and offer praise, the black diamond's gone to bliss, who attain mastery of the method and wisdom. Streams of nectar descend from the fingers of both the front and self and front generations, filling the vase with the nectar of developed wisdom. Namazar Tadagadevyar Hadevyam Zamya Zambudevya Namarya Bulu Suraya Bodhisattva Mahazagaya Mahagavini Dayada Ondaradaga Dividiri Durdu Idevade Zale Zale Razale Razale Kuzume Kuzuma Vare Yilimele Tete Balama Bana Yezroha. I'm gonna try it. Nome Padre Jesu. Mane mame. Mane Padre. Padre Sata Samaya Mana Padre. Nere Mabawa Zuru Mabawa. Udere Bada Sakama Sata Medere Miregara Ho Bhagavan. Savara Dara Paramana. Karna The exalted wisdom beings, the self-generation, absorbed into the front generation. On upon a lotus mudis at the crown of my head is Bhikshuni Lakshmi, just as in our Enunciate. The Defiance pulled at her heart, she interceded the merit field on my behalf. Ziba Zungiruba Lahi Zuhuran Duba Dube Gyaljo Dube Drubar Ziba Ziden Zungi Gulu Jura Jagzelum Babin Uday Guzang Zimbabwe, Ejek Nawada Yugan Zimbabwe, Jagye Jogjin Yidang Jigong Zerwabo, Jagyon Zergi Bamenam Bargain Pabo, Grishim Relbeng. Grimoire Marzer Yupabo, Jerege Bada Waterboards Ebam, Dengi Baba Judu Zongjing Yong Pabo, Kawadong Danum Garding Eden Pabo, Trime Orja. Modig Zambud Zebabo, Zeber Zergereng Mabogen Pabo, Amid Sutarjani Mawaje Pabo, Tugid Ringid of Dungeon Jinjum Babo, Rinjan Mambo. Bumbani Nigenbao, Lume Juga Jatil Jujing Jambao, Rida Pave Numa Yumagabao, Yanchadu Bong Yexing Yanang Jungwabo, Trimameva Ame Zulane Babo Ewe Moni Badme Jabdar Jambao Zegi Garang Juglan Urbure Bab the Zordri Bebe Jam Jam Tabs Impab Tu Begyan Jo Zujen Borojin Bab Junye Zunam Mumbonye Warzapab Dadu de way jumne bane zawab Zundar de jinga jurumbar babu Ujen jodem Zubung jule gyawabu Zigi gandrub drai javi yawab Zampeine Vashiki and Barzebab, Zampe Drodar Lumchendrik Darshipab, Yum Yewan, Zajin Leman Yewab, Umezudam Juhi Zulederwab. Najida Durang Long Dubai Jinrezi Di Wampui Lazje Uve Judim Dajinza Warujena Dini Gebam Pumeyin Yang Gewadi Ham Gewan Jibden, Lede, Gubha, Gundrugyo. O my prostrate to the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praised by the three realms. One is praised by chief of the gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising you, supreme king of sages, fulfills the wishes of beings. I prostrate to the supreme director of the three realms. Hold of an unholy body, calling the bodies into one's good bliss, the crown holds the one God blessed with infinite light. Is it from a generous right hand that spells the hunger, thirst, the hungry ghost, left hand, and feet on it doesn't notice. When I'm flashing in the yellow golden fig and top air, beats the beat of the full moon, you lotus like others, good as encompassing, you are too short a where skirt your fake body is like like snow or a conch. Your arms were close to the flood of glittering pearls, you turn as beautiful as the good of dawn. Your arms are arranging a pot of lotus, you think the color of clouds. Your palms are smooth as of the you were your two shoulders are diamond jewels, your palms are smooth as the best of leaves. You left the breast looking for by antelope skin, you wear long earrings pressed with ornaments. You dwell on a supreme stainless lotus, if you have them in as smooth as lotus petal, you smell blood better than jewels, your palms. You wear skirts with a cloth on the hips, you give one supreme wisdom, call the other devotion, you flood to the multitude merit. To acquire the supreme state, this is a constant bliss, the spell evading deceive, the triple liberator, and the spell of each that enjoy space. Superhuman body being, victor in battle with Mars forces, you feed early in the sun of the naked, so by slipping some self-interest before brought the Brahma. Numerous swans again like a proud elephant, you look a bit of the accumulation after the doctrine. You want to fish in the ocean of milk and an ocean of water, out of middle earth is dawn, the spectating take a look at his heart of mind. And peeling clearly recites the supreme praise all mundane and super mundane needs will be fulfilled in this life and all future lives. O my prostrate to the breath of the world, you the guru of the world, praise with the three realms. Praise one is praised the chief of world of gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising you, supreme king and sages, who fulfills the wishes of beings that prostrate to the supreme depth of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, creating the bodies that once God of blessed, the crown of the one God of blessed, and infinite light. Your supreme generous right hand spells the hunger, thirst, the hungry ghost, left hand is perfectly drawn of golden lotus. When I'm flashing at your color and the fragrant top air faces beautiful full moon. You lotus like cosmos within encompassing, your fragrant body is put like snow or a conch. You wear clusters of lotus glittering pearls, you adorn a beautiful light with the greater dawn. Your arms are ranging upon of lotuses, you have the color bottom clouds. Two shoulders that are many jewels, your palms are smooth as young as the best of leaves, left breast is by antelope skin. You wear alluring earrings, birthday ornaments. Into on the supreme stainless lotus, because the abdomen is smooth as a lotus petal, the tongue on the better than the jewels, you wear exquisite cloth on the hips. Deep one supreme wisdom, God beyond the condition, look to the multitude of merit, and on the supreme state. So it's a cause of bliss, and the spell of aging and disease, the chip liberated, and the spell of holy, each does enjoy space. Supreme embodied being, victored in battle with Mars forces, your future along with shadow of one anchor, so isolation to the film, fit just the forward the Roma. You move this wand again like a proud elephant, you feel like a bit of the accumulation of after the dark, when you face the ocean, the condition of water. Whatever minimum earth is the dawn, is correctly brings heaven, love, which is far to mind, and feel it, and feel there is such a supreme praise. All that my daily superman they need to be something that's not off with your life. When we're proceed to the protector of the world, you the guru of the world, praise for those who realms, one who is praised by the chief of worldly gods, the Mars and Brahma, praising you, supreme king of sages, hills of wishes of beings, you prostitute the supreme protector of the three realms, hold of an all holy body, in the body of it one glibus, the crown heart, the one god of bliss of infinite light. If the human the generous right hand is for the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, your left hand is perfectly adorned with a golden lotus. When I'm flashing into the go and the vacant top pair, faces beautiful like the full moon, your vacant, I look like I was with your vacant body. It's pure like snow or a punch. You wear clusters of flawless glittering pearls, you do beautiful light with the red dawn. Your arms are hinging upon a lotus, you used to have the called autumn clouds. Two shoulders are of many jewels, your palms are smooth as the best of these. Left breast is above an antelope skin. You wear layering earrings pressed with ornaments. You feel on a supreme stainless lotus, as you add them in its smooth as lotus petal. The time going about it about jewels, you wear as good as a glove on the hips, you the real one supreme wisdom, God me in the tradition, reflected of a multitude of art, not the supreme state. Source of concept bliss, and the spell of aging disease, the triple liberate and spell of ways to doesn't join space. The human body being victor of the battle of Mars forces, you feel for long time like an equal, so I still use the self-interest for but the Brahma. You move the swan again like a proud elephant, you feel like a bit of the accumulation after the dark, when the place in the ocean, the ocean of water. But if a minute rests as a dawn, destructive things that will look at far mind, if you live there, it's a spring praise. All the minutes of my day needs to be for those and I feel off with your lives. When we're proceed to the birth of the world, you the good of the world, praise for the three realms, one is praised the chief of worldly gods, and Mars and Brahma. Praising is supreme king of sages, fulfilled the wishes of beings that proceed to the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold up a noble holy body, claim the body as if it one's God of blessed, crown hug the one God of infinite light. This is whom the generous right hand spells the hunger and thirst, the hungry ghost, your left hand is perfectly adorned with the golden lotus. When the flesh and you get earlier like the big and happy, this is beautiful the palm moon, your lotus cycles is exquisite encompassing. Your arms, your pregnant body is pure like snow or a conch. Your two shoulders are your work clusters of flawless glittering pearls, you adorn a beautiful lightness, the kind of dawn. Your arms are ranging upon a lotus, you have the call of autumn clouds. Two shoulders are adorned in many jewels, your palms are smooth as the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered by an antelope skin, you are alluring earrings with ornaments. It will on the supreme stainless lotus, because your abdomen is with a lotus petal. Sublime golden belt of the jewels, your horse skirts with a cloth on the hips. You have the able and supreme wisdom, dawning on the good ocean, you collected in the multitude of merit, acquire the supreme state. Source of concept bliss, the spell of aging disease, the triple liberated and the spell of what each does enjoy in space. Supreme embodied being, victor of the battle of Mars forces, he fitter alone as under one anchor. With living from self-interest before above the Brahma. You move the swans, getting a proud elephant, you feel like a bit of the accumulation of after the dogs when you finish the ocean, open ocean of water. But if anyone else has done, strictly things heaven look at his far to mind, and be let him clear there is such a supreme praise. All the Monday, the Superman daily to be filled with tonight and off each life. So I pass you to protect the world, you the good of the world, praise for the few realms. One is praised by chief of one of gods, and Mars and Brahma, praising you, supreme king of sages, who fills the wish of the beings, that pass you to the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of an old high body, clean the body, then one's God of blessing, crown holds one God of blessing, light. It's a family generous right hand that smells of hunger, the hungry ghost. You left hand is perfect, you know the golden lotus, you were in the flashing of flashing, you the girl in the fragrant top air, face a beautiful full moon. Your lotus like God's eyes with the encompassing, your fragrant body is like snow or a cloud. You were close to water glittering pearls, you adorned with the light as the glitter of dawn, you arms are ranging upon the lotus and beautiful the autumn clouds. Two shoulders that have been eight jewels, you bombs were smooth as the best of leaves, your left breast is by top skin, you were alluring your expressive ornaments. You dwell on the supreme stainless lotus that is your abdomen is the smoothest lotus petal, you slung with a bundle of different jewels, you wear square as the cloth on hips. You wear havers, the one supreme wisdom, on the other gradation, and collect of a multitude of merit, or the supreme state, which the concept and spell everything is you, the triple liberator and spell validity to us enjoying space. Supreme embodied being, victor in battle with Mars forces, you could learn mechanical ankles, so isolating some self-interest before both the Brahma. Move the swan, get like a proud elephant. You fully completed the accumulation, look after the doctrine, one increase from the ocean and meal, possession of water. Whatever men when earth is the dawn, respect thy beings up and look at his Lord of mine, appealing to thee, reciting supreme praise. All the mighty and superman they need, we fulfill this night and all future lives. One prostitute, the protector of the world, you are the good of the world, praise for the three realms. One who is praised, the chief of world, God, the Mars, and Brahma, praising his supreme king and sages, who the wishes of the beings. The prostitute is supreme protector of the three realms, holding the the holy body. Into the bodies, but one God of bliss, you can't hold the one God of bliss, but into the light. The supremely generous writing dispels the hunger, thirst, and the hungry ghost, who left in his book, the doing the golden lotus. When I'm flashing into the color and pagan top air, faces beautiful the full moon, you float like as I was with and encompassing, and faces beautiful like your pagan body feel like the snow or a conch. You wears costumes, well as good in pearls. You're doing the beautiful light with the red of dawn, your arms are hinging upon a lotus, so you can the cloud of clouds. Two shoulders that on many jewels, your palms are smooth as young the best of fleas, you left the breast to come up on antelope skin, you are alluring your express with ornaments. You do on the supreme stance, the lotus of his ear abdomen is smooth as lotus petal, the square, some good above the jewels, you were a skirt of his close brother on the hips. You be born supreme wisdom, God me in the good ocean, close with the multitude of America, brother, supreme state. Source of constant bliss and the spell of aging disease, the triple liberator dispel limit each doesn't during space. Superman body being victor of the battle with Mars forces, your feet are alone in the center of the anklets. You isolate beings from self-interest, the forebird, the hermit, who the swans getting a proud elephant. People look at the accumulation, the after the doctor, one increase from the ocean, no connection water. But if a man when there is dawn, respective and developed the heart of mind, until they clearly recites the supreme praise, all the men in the superman they need to be fulfilled and selected all future lives. One prostitute, the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praise for the three rooms. One who is praised for the chief of holy gods, Mars and Brahma, praising the supreme king of sages, fulfills the wishes of beings. The prostitute, the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, gain of the bodies of one God of bliss, the crown holds the one God of bliss of infinite life. Swim the generous rain in the spell, the hunger thirst, the hungry ghost left in its birth, the golden lotus. When flashing into the garland, the fig and top pair, faces beautiful like the full moon. The goddess like ours, earth within encompassing. Your freaking bodies pure like snow or a conch. You were clusters of lotus spreading pearls. You're doing a beautiful light as the red of dawn. Your arms are raised upon the lotus, you reach the the god of the clouds. You see your shoulders under many jewels, your palms are swimming of the rest of the beast, like princes of the antelope skin. You were wearing an expressive garment. Two soldiers, you were in the spell of the supreme spinless lotus. From the smoothest thing of the best of Lee, you spinless lotus, your thirsty your adam is smooth as lotus petal. It's the blind gold bed of the jewels. Your palms, you were skirted with the cloth on the hips. The one supreme wisdom, godly in the conditions, growth at the multitude of merit, God the supreme state. And the source of constant bliss and spell evading disease is the triple liberator, the spell holiday to those enjoying space. Supreme embodied being, victor in battle with Mars forces, your feet are illuminous out of the equals. Isolating from self-interest, the forebirds of Hermine, with the swans getting a proud elephant. If we get rid of the accumulation, like the doctor, when they face the ocean, no production of water. The Hermine when Earth is dawn, speculative and devil look at his heart of mine, appealing to their reflects the supreme praise. All the mundane and super mundane needs we fulfill in some all future lives. All our pressure to protect the world, you the good of the world, praise for the three realms, one is praise for the holy gods. The Mars and Brahma, praising the supreme king of sages, fulfills the wishes of beings, I prostitute the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, dated the body of one God of bliss, crown home to one God of bliss, for the light. The generous right hand dispels the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, who left in his perfectly adorned, and the golden lotus. And the flashing inner yellow garland, the pagan top pair, faces beautiful full moon. Let us like ours, exquisite and encompassing, your pure pagan bodies feel like snow or a conch. You wear clusters of flawless glittering pearls, you adorn the beautiful light, lies the glitter of dawn, your arms are ranging upon a lotus, as you turn the cloud of autumn clouds. Two shoulders are done many jewels, your palms are smooth as the best of leaves, left breast is up an antelope skin, you are alluring bracelets and ornaments. You dwell on supreme state of lotus, you could add the minister of lotus petal. It's long gone the battle than jewels, you were skirt of the glitter cloth on the hips. You have the one supreme wisdom, God me of the condition, you collected the multitude of merit to the supreme state. Source of constant bliss and the spell of aging disease, a triple liberator and spell holiday to those enjoying space. Supreme body being victor with Mars forces, you feed her alone in the of the little anklets. You isolate him from self-interest, the forebird of Hamahim, the swans again like a proud elephant. Further completed the accumulation, I kept the doctor one increase in the ocean milk and ocean of water. Whatever minimum when I rested the dawn, the spectre beings ever look at his heart of mine. Until clear such as supreme praise, all the money that's my daily to be fulfilled. This life and all future lives. One more prostrate to the protector of the world, you the good of the world, praise for the three realms. One who spirit the chief holy gods, Mars and Brahma, praising his supreme king and status, fulfills the wishes of beings.
The pressure to the supreme protector of the three realms, hold it in the high body, and the bodies but one's gonna bless, you can't help the one to bless and the light, right? To my generous right hand. Spells the hunger and thirst, the hungry ghost left in his perfectly done, they got a lotus. When I'm flashing it, look all in the friggin' top here, faces beautiful like the full moon. The goddess like eyes outwith it encompassing your pregnant body is like snow or a conch. You wear clusters of flawless glittering pearls, your arms adorn the beautiful like red at dawn. Your arms are in your crown of lotus, you can have the color of clouds. Your two shoulders adorn the many jewels, your palms are smooth as the best of leaves. Left breast is covered in top skin, you wear alluring earrings with ornaments. You dwell in the supreme stainless lotus, if it's your abdomen is the smooth as a petal. As the glands on the bed of the jewels, your toe wear a skirt of close called on hips, you the able and supreme wisdom, God in the good ocean. Collected in a multitude of merit of God the supreme state, which was a constant bliss and a spell of aging and disease. Could learn triple liberator and dispel the lady to those enjoying space. Supreme embodied being, victor in battle with Mars forces, you feed her alluring with topical and anklets. Royce letting some self-interest, the forebroods of Herman immune with the swans, like a proud elephant. Fully consider the accumulation of the doctrine when he feels contagion in the open ocean of water. But if a minimum nurse is adorned, the sprinkly things that is far to mine. You live in clearly such a supreme pride, all women and supermen they need will be fulfilled in this life for love with your lives. O my passion to the protector of the world, you the guru of the world, praise for the three realms. One who is praised by the chief of holy gods, Mars and Brahma. Pleasing a supreme king and sages to fulfill the wishes of beings that worship the supreme protector of the three realms. O my prostrated, the realms. Two so you're the whole of it holy body, good of the body, but none of the bless you can't hold the one God bless you, the light. His homogeneous right hand is full of the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost. The left hand is perfectly done with the golden letters. When the flashing into the golden fake top pair. He faces beautiful full moon. He lotus like eyes with the encompassing, where squatted your pagan body is like snow and conch. You wear clusters of flawless glittering pearls, you adorn with beautiful light like the red of dawn. Your arms are arranged like a pot of lotuses, even as have their cloud lowered autumn clouds. Two shoulders are done in many jewels, your palms are smoothing at the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered in club skin, you wear alluring earrings with head ornaments. You wear a supreme stainless lotus, your abdomen is as smooth as lotus petal, is the palm goes the better than the jewels. Your skirt is with growth from the hips, you're able and supreme wisdom calm the other good ocean. Collected the multitude of merit to acquire the supreme state, shows the concept bliss and spell of aging disease, the triple liberator. Spell holy to those enjoying space. Supreme embodied being victor in battle with Mars forces, you feed her alluring the sounds of the necklace. You isolate things from self-interest to forebird the Brahma. You move the swan's gate like a proud elephant. You feel like a bit of the accumulation of after the doctrine. You want to face the ocean milk and ocean of water, whatever made home and ice, the dawn, the sparkly things have a look at his heart of mine. Fielding clearly recites the supreme praise, all the money and the simple men they need, we fulfill this life and all future lives. When I prostrate to the protector of the world, you the good of the world, praise for the three realms, what achieve victory, the chief of all the gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising the supreme king of sages fulfills the wishes of being that prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold the venerable holy body, can the body, if it one's gonna bless, it can't help the one gonna bless, it infinite light. Simultaneous right hand dispels the hunger and thirst, the hungry ghost, left hand is perfectly horn the golden lotus. When I flashing in a girl and a figure top pair, faces but with the full moon. You but sick eyes are with encompassing your face, your body is pure like snow or a conch. You are clusters of lovely glittering pearls, you adorn a beautiful light, right, the grid of dawn. Your arms are arranged like a pot of lotus, you feel like hot autumn clouds. Two shoulders are adorned many jewels, your palms are smooth as with the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered by top skin, you wear alluring earrings bracelets and ornaments. Well, as a supreme stainless lotus was your abdomen is smooth as a lotus petal, you span with the better than the jewels. It's a bird that scatters a quiver cloth around the hips, the able and supreme wisdom, call me in the tradition. Growth of the multitude of merit, acquire the supreme state, source of concept bliss, and spell of aging disease. With a triple liberator and spell of age, those enduring space. Supreme body being victor of the battle of Mars, forces to feed her along with magical and ankles. Wise living some self-interest, above with the Brahma. You the swans getting a prepared elephant, you look at the accumulation, I got the doctrine. You're the one that prays from the ocean, milk and ocean of water, whatever minimum earth is adorned, the sparkling things that don't look, it's far to mine. To live clearly, such a supreme praise. All the mandates and mandates be fulfilled this night and all future lives. One verse to the text of the world, you the good of the world. Praise for the three realms. One is praised by chief of holy gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising you, supreme king of sages, fills the wishes of beings. The first two is the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, cleans the body of one's gonna bless. Crown holds the one gonna bless in infinite light. So the generous right hand is filled with hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost. Your left hand is perfectly one of the golden lotus. When the flash and your little girl and the fragrant top bare face is beautiful like the full moon. The butterfly eyes are with the compass in your pure body is vacant bodies pure like snow or a conch. You wear clusters of flawless glittering pearls. You're doing a beautiful light race, the red of dawn. Your arms are ranging upon the lotus youth and the hand of the god of autumn clouds. Two shoulders are done many jewels. Your palms are smooth thing of the best of leaves. Left breast to give up an antelope skin. Your layering earrings, bracelets, and ornaments. You dwell on the supreme stainless lotus because your abdomen is smooth as a lotus petal. Spangled and bedded in jewels. You wear a skirt of exquisite cloth on the hips. You have the ever one supreme wisdom, God the other great ocean, reflected on multitude of merit. To acquire the supreme state, source of concept bliss, and the spell of raging disease. The triple liberator and its spell of each person enjoying space. Supreme embodied being, victor in battle with Mars forces, your feet are alluring the sound of golden ankles. You are slipping some self-interest before both the color, you are the swarm, the mechanical proud elephant. The look of the accumulation after the doctrine, and embracing the ocean, the ocean of water. But every minute when rises dawn, especially things that look at his heart of mine, building through their sets of supreme praise, all the minutes to prevent their needs to be fulfilled in this life and all future lives. When I prostrate to the back of the world, you are the good of the world. Praise for the three realms. One is praised, but you fulfill the gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising your supreme king and satyrs to fulfill the wishes of beings, I prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of an holy body, containing the bodies of the ones of the bliss, and unhook the one God of bliss of infinite light. Your supremely generous right hand dispels the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, who left in its perfect hero on the golden lotus. When a flash and get other garden of vacant top the air, faces beautiful like the full moon. Lotus like God's eyes with the encompassing, your fragrant body feel like snow or a conch. You wear clusters of flawless glittering pearls, you don't invade the light rays, the great of dawn. Your arms are ranging upon of lotuses. You need for the hand the call of autumn clouds. Your two shoulders are the many jewels. Your palms are smooth as the best of leaves. Left breast the crown, but its lip skin you wear alluring earrings, breasted ornaments. You dwell on a supreme stainless lotus, because your abdomen is as smooth as a lotus petal, you the band of the bed of the dead jewels. You wear a skirt of exquisite cloth around the hips, you the able one supreme wisdom from the other ocean. Clicked in the multitude of merit, acquire the supreme state, the source of constant bliss, and spell of aging disease. The triple liberator, and the spell of holiday to those enjoying space. Supreme body being victor in battle with Mars forces, you feed her ruling its under the necklace. Always leaving some self-interest before the Burma. You move the swarm, getting a proud elephant. You flick with the accumulation, cut the doctor, when you fish in the ocean, milk, and ocean of water. But Herman Omenaris is done, the spectacly things have a look as far to mine, and people and clearly sex supreme praise. All the benefit day, and then Superman did needs. We shall tell them a second opera gods. And when prostitute protects the world, you the good of the world. Praised by the three realms, the one who is praised for the chief of holy gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising your supreme king and satyrs, fulfills the wishes of beings that prostitute the supreme touch of the three realms. Hold of the holy body, near the body, as infinite one's God of bliss, you can't hold the one God of bliss of infinite light. Yes, if my generous right hand dispels the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, left in its perfect on the golden lotus. The source of constant bliss and spell of lotus. You're the you're the one flashing into the golden and faggot top pair, faces beautiful like a full moon. Your lotus like eyes are exquisite and encompassing, your face is your fragrant body is pure white like snow or a conch. Your clusters of flawless glittering pearls, your what a beautiful lightning, the red of dawn. Your arms are arranged like a pond of lotuses. You are youthful, have the color of autumn clouds. Your two shoulders are the many jewels. Your palms are smooth like the best of leaves. Your left breast is of an antelope skin. You wear alluring earrings, bracelets, and ornaments. You dwell in the supreme stainless lotus. It is your abdomen is as smooth as the lotus petals. Lime cool the better than jewels. You wear a skirt as with a cloth on the hips. You the able one supreme wisdom, God beyond the good ocean. The glove that's the multitude of merit. To acquire the supreme state, the source of constant bliss, and the spell of aging disease, the triple liberator, and the spell of to those enjoying space. Supreme embodied being, victor in battle with Mars forces, you Peter alone on top of an eclipse. For sleeping some self-interest, the four birds of Hama, move the swans again like a proud elephant. You feel like a bit of accumulation, like that's the doctor, when they face from the ocean, the milk and ocean of water. What if I made Mars is the dawn, strictly because of like destroyed mine. To them to the lyrics like the supreme praise, elemented, super spontaneous, and fulfilled in us, like all future lives. O my prostrate to the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praised for the three realms. One who is praised for the chief of holy gods, the Mars and Brahma, praising the supreme king of sages, to fulfill the wishes of the beings. I prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms, who live in the noble holy body, carrying in the body the minute ones God of bless, the crown heart the one God of bless, and infinite light. Give him a generous right hand, that spells the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, the left hand is with the adorned, like golden lotus. With the phone of flashing of the garland, the vacant top air, faces beautiful like the full moon. You follow the psychosis with the compass, and your vacant body is pure like snow on a conch. Your hair clusters of flawless glittering pearls, you adorn a beautiful light rays, like the red of dawn. Your arms are ranged like a pot of lotuses, youth from the heavenly cause of autumn clouds. Two shoulders adorn many jewels, your palms are smoothing the best of leaves. Left muscle to but antelope skin, you wear alluring earrings, bracelets, and ornaments.
You dwell in the supreme stainless lotus. If you have the lotus petal, one go below the jewels. You were skirted with glitter on the hips. You be a born supreme wisdom, call me on the good ocean, collected in a multitude of merit. To acquire the supreme state, which was the cause of bliss and the spell of raging disease, which triple liberator and dispel holy deeds to those enjoying space. The human body being victored in battle with Mars forces, you feed her along the side of an ankles. You always think some self-interest, before the Brahma, you wore the swan gate like a proud elephant. Fully computed the accumulation of doctrine, when he preached the ocean milk and ocean of water. Whatever man or woman arises as a dawn, his birthday being that the look at his far mind, physically of the earth such a supreme praise, all the men of super mundane needs will be fulfilled in this life and all future lives. O my prostrate to the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world. Praise for the three realms, the one who is praised for the chief of holy gods of Mars and Brahma. Praising you, supreme king of sages, fulfills the wishes of beings that prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms. One who live in the holy body, created the bodies of infinite ones gone up blessed, crown hope the one God of blessed infinite light. Yes, of whom generous right hand that spells the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, your left hand is perfectly adorned with the golden lotus, and the flashing it over the gullet, and the fragrant top bare faces is beautiful as the full moon. Your lotus like eyes are swift and encompassing, your fragrant body is built like snow or a conch. Here are clusters of flawless glittering pearls, you adorn the beautiful light, the beautiful dawn. Your arms are arranging upon of lotuses, you youthful have the color of autumn clouds. Your two shoulders are adorned with many jewels, your palms are smooth as young as the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered by full of skin, you wear alluring earrings placed with ornaments. You dwell on the supreme stainless lotus, as if your abdomen is as smooth as a lotus petal, sublime golden better than the jewels. Your palm, you wear skirted with cloth on the hips. You be able one supreme wisdom, on the good ocean, collected a multitude of merit, to acquire the supreme state, the source of constant bliss, and spell of aging disease. The triple liberator and the spell holy each those enjoying space, from the body being victor in battle of Mars forces, if you do live inside of the anklets. Who is living self-interest with the four boats of Brahma, you move the swans get like a pet elephant. To look a bit of the accumulation after the doctrine, when it first near milk, ocean of water. But if a minute when ours is dawn, respect the things that look as far to mine, if like the our sex is supreme praise, all the mundane needs, we fulfill this life and all future lives. Or I prostrate to the protect of the world, you the guru of the world, praise for the three realms, one which be the chief of holy gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising you, supreme king of sages, who wishes the beings that prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, created the bodies, if anyone's gonna bless, the crown hold to one, the gonna bless. Of infinite light, the supreme king in his right hand, that spells the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost. Your left hand is perfectly adorned with the golden lotus. When flashing it out of the garland, a fragrant top pair faces beautiful like the full moon. You lotus like eyes are swizzled and encompassing, your fragrant body is pure white like snow or a conch. You wear clusters of lotus glittering pearls, you adorn the beautiful light rays, the bird of dawn. Arms are ranging upon of lotuses, you moving holding the color of autumn clouds. Your shoulders adorned with many jewels, your palms are smooth as the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered by an antelope skin, you are alluring earrings with ornaments. You dwell in a supreme state of lotus, because your abdomen is smooth as a lotus petal. Fun go the battle of the jewels, you are scripted with a cloth on the hips. You be able in supreme wisdom, gone beyond the good ocean, and collected to the multitude of merit, to acquire the supreme state, source of constant bliss, and dispel of aging and disease, which should liberate and dispel holy deeds to those enjoying space. Supreme body being, victor in battle with Mars forces, if you do alone the sort of body, to the human beings himself interest. Before birth the Burma, you move the swan's gate like a proud elephant. If you look a bit at the accumulation, look after the doctrine. When it fresh in the ocean, look at the ocean of water. When a minute when rises to dawn, this birthday brings up a look at his far to mind, and he clearly recites his supreme praise. All the money and super mundane needs, we fulfill them tonight and all future lives. O my prostrate to the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praise for the three realms. One who is praised, the chief of worldly gods, Mars and Brahma, praising is the supreme king of sages, filled with wishes of being, the prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms, hold of an holy body, clean of the body, it's one once going to bless, the crown holds the one going to bless, for the light. He says, in generous right hand, it spells the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, and left hand is perfectly adorned with golden lotus. On a flashing into a girl in a fragrant top pair, faces beautiful like the full moon. But as like eyes are exquisite and encompassing, your fragrant body is pure like snow or a conch. You wear clusters of flawless glittering pearls, you adorn beautiful light rays at blood of dawn. Your arms are arranged like upon a bloats, the youth have the color of autumn clouds. Your two shoulders are adorned with many jewels, your palms are smooth as the best of these. Left breast is covered by antelope skin, you wear alluring earrings, bracelets, and ornaments. You dwell in the supreme stainless lotus leaves, your abdomen is as smooth as the lotus petal, you have the palms of the bud of the jewels. You wear a skirt of the glitter cloth on the hips. You have on the hips. On the hips. You
You stable on supreme wisdom, call me on the good ocean. Click to the multitude of merit to acquire the supreme state, which was a concept bliss, spell of vision, the chip liberate and spell for each person during space. Supreme embodied being victor of the battle with Mars forces your trader, linguist, and the necklace, resolutions, the self-interest, the part of Brahma. With this one getting caught out, if you look at the accumulation after the doctor, when I face the ocean, the operation of water. What if a minimum is the dawn, respective things have looked for the moment, building clearly reflects the supreme praise. All the mundane and super mundane needs we fulfill in cycle off each lives. One more pressure to the protector of the world, you the crew of the world, praise for the few films. One is praise the chief of holy gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising is supreme is the being, the prostitute, the supreme protector of the supreme. Hold our venerable holy body, give the body of the infinite one's God of bliss, and hold one upon the bliss of infinite light. Give me generous right hand that spells a hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost. Your left hand is perfectly hidden under the golden lotus. With flushed into a garland, the fragrant top pair faces beautiful like the full moon. All that is like God's exquisite and encompassing, your fragrant body feel like snow or conch. You were you were very close to flawless fitting pearls. Fitting pearls. Yeah, you are doing a beautiful likeness of red and dawn. Your arms are ranging upon the lotuses, your wrist and happy cloud on clouds. Your two shoulders are the made jewels, your palms are smooth as singing the best of these. Left breast looking up an antelope skin, you are wearing your expressive ornament. You got on supreme thinnest lotus, because you add them in smooth as the lotus petal, you dragon, flesh, figure. You have a slime with the bottom of the jewels, your worst good of the clothes across on the hips, you have the born supreme wisdom, called me on the good ocean. Close to the multitudes of the merit to the supreme state. Source of constant bliss and the spell origin disease, the triple liberator and the spell of holy to those enjoying space. Supreme embodied being, victor in the battle with Mars forces, you feed her alone with the necklace. Right, nothing from self-interest before, but the harmony move the swarm, getting a pair all of them. You can look a bit of the accumulation after the doctor when they first use milk and ocean of water. Whatever minimum earth is the dawn, this quickly brings up a look at his heart of mind and feel it include their such as supreme praise. All the mundane and super mundane needs will be fulfilled in the slave and all future lives. O my prostrate to the protector of the world, you the good of the world, praise for the three realms. One who is praised the chief of worldly gods, Mars and Brahma, praising his supreme king and sages, fulfills the wishes of the beings. I prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, dated the bodies of any one's God of bliss, the crown holds the one God of bliss of infinite light. Simple and generous right hand dispels the hunger and thirst, the hungry ghost. Your left hand is perfectly adorned with the golden lotus. When a plastic into a garden fragrant top pair faces beautiful at the full moon. The lotus like eyes are exquisite and encompassing, and faces your fragrant bodies feel like snow or conch. You wear clusters of flowers, glittering pearls, you adorn a beautiful light, raised the bed of dawn, your arms are hinging upon the lotus, you tap out the cloud of clouds. Your shoulders are done the many jewels, your palms are smooth as of the best of thieves, left breast is of an antelope skin, you wear alluring earrings, bracelets, and ornaments. You dwell on the supreme stainless lotus, your abdomen is as smooth as a lotus petal, your blind with the bottom of jewels, you wear squid of the quiver cloth on the hips. The above supreme wisdom, quality, and the good ocean reflected the multitude of merit to acquire the supreme state, source of constant bliss and a spell of aging disease, a triple liberator and a spell of holy age those enjoying space. Supreme body being victor of the battle of Mars forces, theater alone with hundred of anklets. You are things from self-interest, the forebirth of Brahma, you the swarms getting a pet elephant. You were a squid of a pet elephant. You are squid of the accumulation of the doctor when it place me using milk and ocean of water. Whatever minimum arises to dawn, respectfully brings heaven look at his fire to mind, and people in clear their sights of supreme praise. All the money needs, Superman did need, we filled in this life and all future lives. O my prostrate to the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praised with the heroes, one who is praised the chief of worldly gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising his supreme king and sages, fulfills the wishes of beings that prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, containing the bodies, infinite ones, God of bliss, the one God of bliss, of infinite light, your supremely generous right hand spells the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost. Your left hand is perfectly adorned with the golden lotus. On a flashing yellow garland, the fragrant top pair faces the beautiful full moon. Your lotus-like eyes are exquisite and encompassing. Your fragrant body is pure white, like snow or a conch. You wear clusters of flawless glittering pearls. You adorn a beautiful light rays, the red of dawn. Your arms are arranging upon of lotuses, youthful, half the color of autumn clouds. Your two shoulders are adorned with many jewels. Your palms are smooth as the best of leaves. Left breast is covered by antelope skin. You wear alluring bracelets, earrings, bracelets, and ornaments. You one on the supreme stainless lotus of your abdomen. It's as smooth as a lotus petal. You have sublime colored battle that on jewels your body. Wear a skirt of a split cloth on the hips of the evil one supreme wisdom, God beyond the good ocean. You've collected the multitude of the merit to acquire the supreme state, shows the constant bliss, the spell of aging and disease. You're the Chakra liberator and dispel avoiding to those enjoying space. The human body being victor in the battle of Mara's forces. Your feet are alluring the sun of golden anklets. Westlake thinks from self-interest. The floorboard of Hermione with the swans getting a pet elephant. People look up into the accumulation of after the doctor when it appears from the ocean built an ocean of water. Whatever minimum earth is the dawn, speculate brings out the book of his far to mind. Including your sights is supreme praise. All their mundane and super mundane needs will be fulfilled in this life and all future lives. Waryam, compassionate eyed one, who is the treasure of compassion. I read with you, please listen to me, please guide myself, others and others, in all 6 realms, to be free quickly from the great ocean of samsara. It was that the vast and profound fearless awakening mind may grow with the tear of your great compassion. Please cleanse all thoughts and delusions. Lead with your hand of compassion me and my graders to fields of bliss. Please Amidabha and raising in all my lives be virtuous friends. You will beyond deceptive pure path and quickly place us in Buddha's state. Number 2 offering. Om the great Om Om Zabao Shudo Zawadam Zabao Shudo Om. Talk from offerings become just empty. From within emptiness, broom becomes a vast and extensive precious vessel, inside of which Om melts and becomes a great ocean of uncontaminated and exalted wisdom nectar. Om Aham Om 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 Om. Om Arya Lokasvara Sa Parivarim Doinda Kahi Kahi. Arya Lokasvara Sa Parivarim Doinda Kahi Kahi Kahi. Arya Lokasvara Sa Parivarim Doinda Kahi Kahi Kahi. Om Arya Lokasvara Sa Parivaram Padyam Pushpe Ube Aloke Gende
Vidya Shabda Prati Chaso. 1,000 arms are 1,000 wielding kings. 1,000 eyes are 1,000 Buddhas. Parted off for praise to the venerable loving living Father who shows that everything that is subdued is to be subdued. Om Yode Generate Lodram Zelu Jamdu Nadi Bina Yaram Nabo Jumbo Dagi Jumbo Jen Dagi Dugi Genji Number Ebe Dugi Dame Jumwajin Dame Dama Runi Dradu Yumbe Dumbe Dune Dumbe Dum Dejan Dama Dune Jumwan Nabo Jini Jawa Namba Zi Jumbu Daba Uda Kenzu Jawa Zindurai Levadi Jivo Migir Gambogi Azur Migir Hamdu Duzen Rinjin Dugan Lai Urad Jinle Doma Doma Lendene Dozen Dradu Bala Jan Sangi Dembo Dembo Duma Dam Budu Obon Yembo Doban Naja Bumbo Boran Jinam Gi Ganyan Bate Bate Shivan Peter Nyanya Nyanya Pelbison Akombo Yemela Dani Kuze Kapsu Nagi Zemsen Tamsigi Nyamamala Zewan Kombo Lama Yemela Dani Kuze Kapsu Nagu Zemsen Tamsigi Bajen Balu Zewan Lama Kombo Yemela Dani Kuze Kapsu Nagi Zemsen Tamsigi Nyamamala Zewan Kombo Lama Yemela Dani Kuze Kapsu Nagu Zemsen Tamsigi Bajen Balu Zewan Lama Kombo Yemela Dani Kuze Kapsu Nagi Zemsen Tamsigi Nyamamala Zewan Kombo Lama Yemela Dani Kuze Kapsu Nagu Zemsen Tamsigi Bajen Balu Zewan Devadi Sera Kundu Da Gewe Dandu Malu Tumpata Is Gauken Tauten Tunken Tu Lama Bumbo Yeme Yochi Humge Bodhisattva who annihilates non-cannibals, formal evil beings, and who destroy the three storied cities. O fearful one, his praises offered you, with great energy and admiration. You who are liberated from this world, and said to have been a Brahmin before, have attained the supreme of all cities, and have reached the state of transcendent bliss. Your holy body is as quick as thought, and renowned throughout the universe, liberator of all worldly beings. In battle you are always the victor. Yamas and Mamo directly praise you. You wear a blue silk and hover garment. Your manifest body is at one time most beautiful, yet still it horrifies. Wherever you look, your eye terrifies, and brings all beings to humility. Your eye bestows the highest of cities. You lead countless beings to wisdom bliss. O compassionate and courageous Lord, I constantly offer praises to you. Zeni drenai namji ke bani, zeni guna meijing zen gyame, dondang yerme karu gyame, suchu gyuma kandu rangi zen, Dumba Demba Jiwe Bella Mo, Jibe Jigyu Jiwe Hangu Jiwe Kogi Kowe Domani, Dagi Kura Kamo Zindura, Kundu Jibe Mala Jasalo, Dagi Nera Baje Jiwazo. Beni Driller Nanji Gebani, Beni Guna Mejin Zengamen, Dundan Yerme Kalu Zugyame, Uju Yama Sandu Rangi Ben, Tumba Demba Gebe Delamu, Gebe Gebe Gege Hanzu Zen, Gebe Gogi Bore Domani, Agi Guru Zemo Jinduji, Kundu Geze Mala Jatulo, Agi Sedan Suna Gebarso, Yo, Zeni Zene Namji Gebani, Zeni Guna Meiji Zenjame, Dondam Yere Karu Zugyame, Zutu Guma Sandu Rangi Zen, Rumba Demba Wangi Zelamo, Wangi 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 Hanzu Zen, Wangi Korgi Kowe Zomani, Kagi Guru Manu Jinducha, Kundu Wande Manu Jagabo, Hanzum Zenjen Tanje Wandu Yo, Zeni Jene Namji Gebani, Zeni Jena Meijing Zenjane, Dungam Yerme Karu Zugyame, Zuju Yuma Zamdu Rangi Zen, Dumba Demba Dabu Delamo, Daze Jagyu Dabe Mandu Zen, Dabe Borgi Kowe Domoni, Dagi Guru Namo Sindhu Kundu Dabe Mala Jagadu, Dagi Neru Dagi Japutu, Gigi Ranjun Jirya Madhurya, Irazeni Jirya Navadu, Ile Manji Dodam Bebala, Dagi Dunder Ladu Tigina, Nagyale Jiranjin Hundukte, Yudoga Vedoma Sambajo. Whom, O Kalarupa, with magnificent wrathful body, a garland of human heads and melting blood, hangs from your shoulders, I praise thee, who destroy the arrogance of arrogant comes to the forces. Lydia's fought your song, great uproar, tar more complete in all parts, portions of tea and liquid, the minced flesh of hindering enemies, fish all down with oceans of blood and fat. He who crushes into dust the worst of hindering enemies who harm the doctrines of Hara Gada, and from now on will destroy the poor ears of sickness, dodging death for us practitioners, I praise you. Comparing gladly white as Venus, your opponent devouring eyes dart like lightning. Fours blazing like the great fire at times end. You burn all hindering forces, I praise you. Lord of all female cannibals, submitting the rest, possessing the radiant splendor of sunlight. You shall Jah to accomplish your activities, you destroy the cunning fox like hinderers, I praise you. You are led on by a hat by all the silken spirits, and you the buffalo face case open, shakes the great earth with feeling tempests. All of us all have born from Yah, I praise you. One of your retinue rides a buffalo with sharp horns and hooves, and others on a black whirlwind. The others are under by a retinue of spirits of realms, I praise you. He with glorious body is fishy laughing, ha ha, accepts the homer offering with rest. As we carry out the promise you made before the glorious Yamantaka. Whom the protector is invisible by, upon the fearless lyings, he is rational, virtuous, and powerful. I bow to you, the Lord of the 8 stages. You 4 princesses, 4 princes, 8 giving on the Yakshas, who do special tasks, and 8 wealth going to Nagagas, along with a retinue of 8 classes of gods and cannibals, and make offerings, praise, and prostration. For my enemies and hindrances without exception, and for consumers of wealth, and my desires as I wish, and spontaneously achieve the welfare of others. Umakaram Mokam Savadamana Mahumpe Soha. Umakaram Mokam Savadamanam Anunutmanam Mahumpe Soha. Omakaramakaram Savanamanam Ananamanam Soham. Om Dakini Sri Dhammapala Sapari Varahagam Haryam Pushpe Ube Aluke Gyande Nividi Shabda Praticha Soham. Dakinis and guardians of the Dharma, protect the white side, please accept this Dharma offering and download the five sense pleasures. Help the seek to flourish, my greater state of happiness, the Dharma goes myself and others, to be availed as we wish. Namasavatata Avalokitayam Sambara Sambara Hum. Namasavatata Avalokitayam Sambara Sambara Hum. Namasavatata Avalokitayam Sambara Sambara Hum. I prostrate to the Tathagata many jewels, and prostrate to the Tathagata holy beautiful form. I prostrate to the Tathagata very beautiful body, I prostrate to the Tathagata free of all fears. Owner of the place and others, you 8 groups of mighty ones, please accept this Dharma offering down of the five sense pleasures. Help the aching to flourish, all bad conditions to be pacified, the Dharma goes myself and others to be fulfilled as we wish. The bathhouse has an extremely sweet fragrance, a crystal floor and beautiful carvings of pillars. The roof is covered by a canopy decorated with shining pearls. This was the gods offered a bath at the time of the Buddha's birth. To I offer a bath with pure water of the gods. Offering an ablution to protect the Avalokiteshvara, the lamp of migrators, the stream of fragrant nectar, and saying the purification creation, the migrators be cleansed, may they be the good fortune to acquire their stay in the three bodies. Om Sarvatata looking for the top, but he wanted to take it as Maya. The Tathagatas and their sons, with many jeweled vases exclusively filled with pleasing perfume and accompanied by a variety of excellent songs and music of bath. Om Sarvatatakaraya Lokitana Sapari Varabi Shikita Samaya Shriya. I dry your holy bodies with incomparable clean, fragrant cloths. Om Ram Riya. Sarvatatakaraya Lokitana Sapari Varabi Vishvadane. To purify my mind and offer an exquisite precious garment, multicolored like Andrew's variegated bow, which when touched becomes the cause of bliss. May I be adorned with the holy garment of patience. Because the victorious ones are adorned by the natural ornaments of signs, rocks and signs, do not need any other kind of ornament. By borrowing these supreme jewel ornaments, all marketing being to achieve the holy body, the only signs and sign. Offering the suspicious vase beautified by jewels and filled with various essences. All the stains of karma and delusion be purified and be imbued in the moisture of bodhicitta. Out of your loving compassion for myself and my creator beings, O Bhagavan, please remain the force of miraculous manifestation. You can make offering. Through these virtuous actions of mine, make a applicable Buddha in this world. Done the teachings of the benefit my creators, and my created beings who are tormented by many sufferings. And all my rebirths, I belong to a good family, be clear in mind and free of pride. Great compassion and respect for my gurus and abide in the pledges of Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara, whatever your body, your retinue, lifespan, realm, and so forth, whatever your an excellent name, may I become only like that. The force, the praises, and requests made to you, may all diseases, evil spirits, poverty, and quarrels become. May dharma and good fortune increase, the regions that as well. The precious, great, and free gratitude that our betters and rise and grow. And the Hinata betters would increase more and more. Om Padma Sattva Samana Pai Om Padma Sattva Samaya Mahapuraya Oh, greatly compassionate one, vagabonds, please pay attention to me. Sincere beginners, standing in the plainness of the towers, rising in excitement. Concentration has not been clear, much has been incorrect. Conditions and mentions in the ritual have been scarcely clean, and so on. First, you are you to forgive us, please allow these to obscure us. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Mani Padme Om 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 Mani Padme Mani Padme Om 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 Mani Padme Mani Padme Om Mani Padme. The principle, the great compassionate one, and his retinue come to space in front. White nectar flows from the parts of their holy bodies, washing on the outside, inside, and middle of one's body, purifying all the diseases, evil spirits, negativities, and obscurations of one's three doors, and the without anything remaining. Then meditate on the divine pride of oneself as a Samaya being, the great compassionate. Due to these merits, may I become the great compassionate one, place all my good beings without an exception in that very state. Namo Guru Lokeshvaraya. That whatever collection of virtue there is, a practicing the path of abiding in the retreat. Well instructed by the essence of compassion, I have looked to Shvar to Bhikshuni Lakshmi for the purifying the obscurations of ordinary appearance. The conqueror's doctrine, the source of benefit and happiness, the beings upholding it increase the happiness of migrators. Each and every unfavorable condition for practicing the holy Dharma be pacified, and the favorable conditions in the collection of goodness be effortlessly achieved. While abiding in the retreat of enduring physical hardships and the physical obscurations, myself and all others be purified. Concentration visualizing the body of the deity appearing while empty, and finally attain the body adorning the signs of the amplifications. By abiding in the retreat of enduring verbal hardships, keeping silence, and the verbal obscurations of myself and others be purified. Because the recitation of the mantra resounding while empty, and may finally attain the religious speech of Brahma. Mental hardships, avoiding distractions, the mental obscurations of myself and others, they purify. With the strength of the profound yoga of emptiness and compassion, and we finally attain the great bliss of the Dhammakaya. Once the being abides in the retreat, body becomes hot, cold, or exhausted. The karma to be born in hell, by the power of heat should be purified, whether hell be closed. The sufferings of hunger and thirst arise due to abiding in the retreat, but burning the hardships of abstaining from food and drink. And the karma to be born under has a hungry ghost, but the power of miserliness be purified, though the rebirth of the hungry ghost be closed. One becomes delirious with mental sinking, lethargy, and sleep, abiding in the retreat without mental distractions. And the karma to be born as an animal by the power of ignorance be purified, and the door of animal rebirth be closed. Sure, whatever physical and mental sufferings arise at all times of abiding in the retreat, seeking the sufferings of all migrators be purified by this, may I voluntarily accept the sufferings with a thought to bring benefit and happiness. The time of my death is near, having been graciously welcomed by the great compassionate one. May all equality of beholders led in excellent faces, and all be watched over by the one with 1,000 eyes. By the 1,000-armed one, the wide escapes of bad migration, alleviate the suffering of all 6 migrations by emanating and collecting light rays emanated from his holy body, taken for beings with his holy mind of wisdom, mercy, and power. Lotus of Sukhavati, for him of Pure Land where the word suffering does not exist. May I behold the holy face of the predictor Amitabha and receive the consoling prophecy of his holy speech. With the 6-armed guardian of the teachings, the 8 great Nagas and Lennon of Tago, who assist in thousands of ways to spread this all directions and all times, we accomplish their enlightened activities without obstruction. May there be auspiciousness. Host of deities, the supreme great compassionate one, filling the entire lands down pathways, showering the flowers to proclaim auspicious melodies. An activity that eliminates all enduring forces will bestow upon you all supreme wishes. Shall create great joy by knowing that, and I shall proclaim a garland expressing auspiciousness. The passion of all those gone to bliss in the 3 times will confer the name of Avalokiteshvara, and like the wish-getting jewel, grant all that is wished for, pay homage to the holy infallible refuge. For the auspicious and diverse times of virtue exist, so that supreme direct lineage gurus, including Lakshmi cared for by the Arya, under Kumar, Janabhadra, Panyawa, Deva, Gelton, and the rest, your auspicious science be exhausted, and happiness and goodness increase like the waxing moon. The basic glory, glory, and perfection. But the auspicious and separate times of virtue exist, for the host of Mandala deities, the great compassionate one, Saka Dawa holding the white lotus, Hadar Chana Ratna Sambhava, Shobhya, Lord of Mogasiddhi, and the rest. Now your the science be exhausted, and happiness and goodness increase with the waxing moon. There be the auspicious of joy and the glory of perfection. There were times of virtue exist, for the most supreme of all the able and excellent explanations. Even the lotus family of the glorious action tantras, victorious tantra of the one possessing 1,000 compassionate eyes. Now your the science be exhausted, and happiness and goodness increase like the waxing moon. And there be the glory of perfection. May the specialness of what it says the virtue exists for all those who engage in hearing, contemplating, and meditating on the supreme profound path in all realms. For all those who with the mind of faith memorize the Dharani, the mantra, or even the name of the holder of the lotus, Padmapani, and auspicious signs be exhausted, and happiness and goodness increase like the waxing moon. There be the auspicious of the glory of perfection. The auspiciousness of whatever signs of virtue exist, for the inestimable mansion for those with hundreds of jewels. Arrogant like a rainbow, broad like the path of immortality. Kalatala palace, beautified with various ornaments. Such a science be exhausted, and happiness and goodness increase like the waxing moon. There be the auspiciousness of joy and the glory of perfection. Maybe you can do this one. Okay. Is that? Can you switch to that one? Or? No. Do you mind? So you have to put in there? Ale. It's off. Oh. Like this?
I bow down to the beautiful Arya Manjushri, who lands among humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future. In the worlds of 10 directions, to all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every atom are Buddhas, numberless as atoms, each amidst a host of Bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas, and celebrate all you gone to bliss. Beautiful flowers and river garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you victorious ones. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder, heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you victorious ones. With transcendent offerings fearless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength and conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done, with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and confusion. All these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all positive potential of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the 10 directions, of solitary realizers, here still training, and those beyond, and all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds of 10 directions. Oh, yes, all you are my guides. Please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you move my actualized power nirvana. Please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight positive potential I may have created, by paying homage, offering, acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting the Buddhist thing teach, I now dedicate all this for full awakening. And you Buddhas now living in the worlds in 10 directions, and all you gone to freedom in the past, accept my offerings. May not yet risen to quickly perfect our minds, awakening us from the enlightenment. May all worlds in 10 directions be entirely pure and vast. May they be filled with bodhisattvas, surrounding Buddhas gathered beneath a Bodhi tree. May as many beings as exist in 10 directions be always well and happy. May all samsaric beings live in accord with the Dharma, and may every Dharma wish be fulfilled. Remembering my past lives and all varieties of existence, may I practice the Bodhisattva way, and thus, in each cycle of death, migration, and birth, may I always abandon the householder's life. Then, following the footsteps of all the Buddhas, and perfecting the practice of Bodhisattva, may I always act without error or compromise with ethical discipline false and pure. May I teach the Dharma in the language of the gods, in every language of humans, spirits and nagas, of humans and of demons, and in the voice of every form of being. May I be gentle-minded, cultivating 6 paramitas, never forget bodhicitta. May I completely cleanse without omission every negativity and all that obscures this awakening mind. May I traverse all my lives in this world, free of karma, afflictions, and interfering forces, just as the lotus blossom is undisturbed by the water's wave, just as the sun and moon move unending through the sky. May evil suffering in the lower realms and in the many directions and dimensions of the universe, may I guide all wanderers in samsara to the pure bliss of awakening and be a worthy benefit to them as well. May I practice constantly for eons to come, perfecting the activities of awakening, acting in harmony with the varied dispositions of beings, showing the ways of a bodhisattva. May I always have the friendship with those whose path is like mine, and with the birds, body, words, and also mind, may we practice together the same aspirations and activities. May I always meet a spiritual mentor and never displease that excellent friend who deeply wishes to help me and expertly teaches the Bodhisattva way. May I always directly see the Buddhas, masters encircled by Bodhisattvas, and without pause or discouragement for eons to come, may I make extensive offerings to them. May I hold within me the Buddha's genuine Dharma, illuminate everywhere the teachings that awaken, embody the realization of the Bodhisattva, and practice ardently in all future eons. While circling through all states of existence, may I become an endless treasure of good qualities, skillful means, wisdom, samadhi, liberating stabilizations, gathering limitless pristine wisdom and positive potential. On one hand, I shall see Buddha feels numberless atoms, inconceivable Buddhas among bodhisattvas in every field, practicing the activities of awakening. Perceiving this in all directions, I dive into an ocean of Buddha fields, each an ocean of 3 times Buddhas in the space of a wisp of a hair. So I too will practice for an ocean of eons. Thus, I am continually immersed in the speech of the Buddhas, expression that reveals an ocean of qualities in one word, the completely pure eloquence of all the Buddhas, communication suited to the varied tendencies of beings. With the strength of understanding, I plunge into the infinite line speech of the Dharma, of all Buddhas in 3 times gone to freedom, who continually turn to the wheel of Dharma methods. I shall experience in one moment such vast activity of all future eons, and I will enter into all eons of the 3 times in but a fraction of a second. In 1 second, in one instant, I shall see all those awakened beings, past, present, and future lines among humans, and with power of illusion like stabilization, I will constantly engage in inconceivable activity. I shall manifest upon one single atom, the array of pure lands, present, past, and future. Likewise, I shall enter the array of pure Buddha fields in every direction without exception. I shall enter the very presence of all my guides. Those lights of this world were yet to appear, those sequentially turning the wheels of complete awakening, those who reveal nirvana, final perfect peace. May I achieve the power of superlogical emanation, the power to lead to the great vehicle through every approach, the power of all its beneficial activity, the power of love pervading all realms, the power of all surpassing positive potential, the power of supreme knowledge unobstructed by discrimination, and through the powers of wisdom, skillful means, and samadhi, may I achieve the perfect power of awakening, purifying the power of all contaminated actions, crushing the power of disturbing emotions at their root, diffusing the power of interfering forces. I shall perfect the power of the Bodhisattva practice. May I purify an ocean of worlds. May I free an ocean of beings. May I clearly, may I purify an ocean of activities. May I fulfill an ocean of aspirations. May I practice without discouragement for an ocean of eons. To awaken fully through this Bodhisattva way, I shall fulfill. In order to practice exactly as the wise one called Samantabhadra, all embracing good, the elder brother of the sons and daughters of the Buddhas, I completely dedicate all this goodness. Likewise may I dedicate, just as the skillful Samantabhadra, with pure body, speech, and mind, pure actions and pure Buddha feels. I should give rise to these aspirations of Manjushri for this Bodhisattva practice of all embracing good, to perfect these practices without discouragement or pause in all future eons. May my pure activities be endless, my good qualities boundless, and through abiding in immeasurable activity, may I actualize infinite emanations. Limitless is the end of space, likewise limitless are living beings. Thus limitless are karma and afflictions, may my aspirations reach be limitless as well. One may offer to the Buddhas all the wealth and adornments of infinite worlds in 10 directions, and one may offer during eons numberless atoms of the world, even the greatest happiness of gods and humans. But whoever hears this extraordinary aspiration and longing for highest gives rise to faith just once, will promote more precious positive potential. Those who make this heartfelt aspiration for the Bodhisattva way will be free of all lower rebirths, free of harmful companions, and will quickly see Amitabha infinite light. And even in this very human life, they'll be nourished by happiness and have all conducive circumstances. Without waiting long, they will become like Samantabhadra himself. Those who give voice to this extraordinary aspiration will quickly and completely purify the five boundless harmful actions created under the power of ignorance. Blessed with supreme knowledge, excellent body, family attributes, and appearance, they will be invincible to vast interfering forces and misleading teachers, and all three worlds will make offering, going quickly to the noble Bodhi tree, and sitting there to benefit sending beings, subduing all interfering forces. They will fully awaken and turn the great wheel of Dharma. Have no doubt that complete awakening is the fully ripened result, comprehended only by a Buddha, of holding in mind by teaching, reading, or reciting this aspiration of the Bodhisattva practice. In order to train just like the hero Manjushri, who knows reality as it is, and just like Samantabhadra as well, I completely dedicate all this goodness just as they did. With that dedication, which is praised as the greatest by all Buddhas gone to freedom in 3 times, I too dedicate all my roots of goodness for the attainment of the Bodhisattva practice. When the moment of my death arrives, by eliminating all obstructions and directly proceeding Amitabha, may I go immediately to Sukhavati, clear land of great joy. Having gone to Sukhavati, may I actualize the meaning of these aspirations, filling them all without exception, for the benefit of beings for as long as this world endures. Born from an extremely beautiful square-toed lotus in the shelterful land of Buddha's magnificent mandala, may I see the prediction of my awakening directly from Buddha Amitabha. Having received a prediction there, may I create vast benefit for beings throughout the 10 directions with a billion emanations by the power of wisdom. Through even the small virtue I've accumulated by offering this prayer of the Bodhisattva practice, may all the positive aspirations of being be fulfilled in an instant. Through creating limitless positive potential by dedicating this prayer of Samantabhadra deeds, may all beings drowned in the torrent of suffering enter the presence of Amitabha. Through this king of aspirations, which is greatest and sublime, helping infinite wanderers in samsara. Through the accomplishment of the scripture, dazzling with Samantabhadra's practice, may suffering realms be utterly empty of all beings. Okay, from Tang Tong Gyalpo, page 38. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions such as thought, spirits, illnesses, and bhutas not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and epileptic disease, the mere sounds of whose name terrify beings, as though they been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed about 80,000 classes of interference, 360 evil spirits, suddenly 424 diseases, and so forth. And whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the 4 elements, depriving body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified, and may the body and mind have radiance and power, and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and three jewels, by the power of the Kingdom protectors and guardians, by the power of truth and infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Jiten Kangir Pende Malila Gane Jue Sampel Yishino Kakin Sume Tenzin Gyatsola Sovareso Tushe Nujusho Tutsu Chanshi Jangyewe Tenzin Kyongyewe Kunzo Dogoze Shotsu Kuele Montudu Pada Sudu Chegandu Shape Sho through illuminating all, your appearance dispels the darkness. Your clear mind knows 84,000 heaps of Dharma, the power of remedy to 84,000 delusions. Your proclaiming battle, dependent and rising of the self, victorious in battle of the Mars. I worship the supremely kind, great Vajradhara, my crown. Clarifying the scriptures, realization, and teaching of the Muni, you spread and illuminate those teachings wherever they are not spread in the world. Having become an actual son of the conquerors, you bear hardship with patience. In your continuous realization of perfection and wisdom, subtle, dependent and rising. Precious jewel, Lord, possessing love and compassion, liberates upon seeing, treasure and mastery of all arising interpreted within the scriptures, supremely great among the great, fully comprehending and clarifying the meaning of emptiness and compassion. You guide all beings in the path of liberation. Perfectly qualified spiritual friend, my guru, please remain forever. She who protects from the fears of 3 times Aryatara, please increase the lifespan and activities of beings who preserve the holy Dharma, and always without separation develop their spontaneous actions by the infallible days of the 3 roots may all be auspicious. Okay, so we have the dedication list also that we'll dedicate and multiply. Yeah. uh, so also we dedicate all the 3-time merit accumulated by ourselves, as well as the numberless Buddhas and numberless sentient beings, for the long lives, good health, and fulfillment of holy wishes of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, the Ganden Tree Rinpoche, and Ken Rinpoche Geshe-Chuni, all the perfectly qualified mind virtuous friends. And then for success in studies and practice of Tenzin Punsok Rinpoche and Tenzin Gyaltsen Rinpoche, the long and healthy lives of all of our teachers. Venerable Gache, Venerable Namjong, Venerable Dzogchen, Venerable Tenzin. Quick enlightenment of all our crown benefactors. So we also dedicate all 3-time merit accumulated by ourselves, as well as numberless sentient beings and numberless Buddhas, for all those who experience health issues, including Stina, Mr. Ku Hin Bok, Ms. Tan Yeo Cheng, Mr. Benisan, Shabira, Mary Magdalene, Ko Chi Hui, Christopher Duncan, Margaret Smith, Sital Harma, Tan Yao Cheng, our Dharma sister battling cancer, and Ward Brown. Maida Cheng and Dietrich Bach, Peggy Bach and Birch Bach, his parents, and Sheng Min Mei Zheng from FPMT Taiwan, director who has severe life obstacles, and the people from Taiwan who have severe life obstacles as well. Go Dan Song, Shen Ming Zheng, Lian Hu Rong, Venerable Fa Se from Taiwan, and Chan Fan and family to be freed from spirit harm. Vivian, also for Vivian Louis, who undergone an operation yesterday to remove a football-sized polycystic ovarian that weighed 5 kgs. Wow. And now she's waiting for the result to see if the cyst is cancerous or not. So pray that it is negative and that she recover well and continue to practice her Dharma path. And then the following persons to also have good physical and mental health. Talia Lynn, James Robinson, James Robinson, Tina Lynn and her families. Also for Martin Lamb, may his obstacles caused by spirit harm be removed, and so that he continue with his studies and gain enlightenment quickly. Also for Linda Berlin and Sheila Kwan. Then we also dedicate all the merits accumulated 3 times by ourselves, as well as the numberless sending beings and numberless Buddhas, for George Floyd. Many of you know who was killed by the police in Minneapolis. Then also Mr. Louis Eng Meng, Dana Lakshmi, who passed away on June 1st, Jonathan Fridge, Martha Sig Stedst, who passed away on June 4th. Okay, so all those and the other sending beings in the bardo, may they quickly be born in the pure land of the Buddha, or at least achieve a perfect human rebirth, where they meet with the Mahayana teachings, mind of virtuous friend, and attain enlightenment in their very next lifetime. May Venerable Lobsang Jokar's prayers for the following come true without delay. For the late Ginger Shi, late Chong Hun Yun Lai, the late Song Se Yang, the late Henry Wang, late Jack Sonnenbaum, late Koi Wai Boon, late Angeline Tang, late Tsai Pei Ching. Yes, for them to attain a precious human rebirth and actualize Dharma with the perfect guru, and then also for everyone who has died from the COVID-19. So then we also dedicate all the merit for accumulated by ourselves, as well as the 3-time merit accumulated number of Ascended Beings, number of Buddhas, for all the Dharma projects to succeed, especially the Nuns Project, Atisha Center, Great Stupa, Bendigo, Australia, Tai Tung Foundation Incorporated, and especially for the Tai Tung Foundation to be free of all obstacles in Dharma work in China, and for all the donors to be free from life and spiritual obstacles, and for Maida Cheng to her family's law case to have victory in China. Also for Sarah I Am My House, and for the I Am My House monks to be able to go back to their house safely as soon as possible, and continue their studies and teach the Dharma, as well as Chuko Sumring, the FPMT Center in Bangalore, who also has helped so much behind the scenes with um, this event. Okay, so other dedications. So we dedicate all 3-time medication by ourselves, as well as the numberless ascending beings, numberless Buddhas, for all the unrest in the U.S. to be immediately pacified, and everyone in the government and law enforcement, actually everyone in the whole country, to generate bodhicitta. And then for Adair Chuang Lee, and so forth, all those who are researching the detection of disease, and all the academia Sinica in Taiwan, collaborating closely with EU, USA, Canada, Czech Republic to stop COVID-19 pandemic. Ms. Cheng and all the Central Epidemic Command Center in Taiwan for the excellent COVID-19 mischief management. Arun Chatterjee, founder of Interfaith, Raj Sonia, and all frontline workers in healthcare and all the essential services, Sheila Jacus, and all at St. John's Presbyterian and Lutheran Church, Father James Krawchuk, and St. George the Martyr Parish, Charlotte with severe rheumatoid arthritis, and all at Peach Arch Hospital and residences and hospice, Diane and Mariana, and all in care homes, Nancy Shi, Julie Lin with diabetes, Hildegard Primer with respiratory problems, and all elderly at Village Terrace, Henry Kaminsky, and all at Breakaway Bays, Lily, Angel, and all desperate housewives to arrive at complete healing, Amy Lin, Hui Ling, Eurasia Grace Admonson with bipolar and financial difficulties, and influence of non-virtuous friends, all African Americans and Asian victims of racist attacks in Canada and the US, and all over the world, all over the universe. All migrant workers, homeless, refugees, South Americans, Tibetans, Uyghurs, Syrians, Yazidis, all mentally ill, drug addicts, sex workers, and traffickers. Donald Trump, may he be freed of all afflictions. Right this second. Xi Jinping et al. To abandon aggression, lead their people with compassion and wisdom. For Formosa TV English News continue their quality news bites for the end of all evil, for inner peace, world peace, and the enlightenment of all sentient beings. For Duj Bahadur Anaya for studies. Shushil, Urmil, Amit, Shima, Asit, Rian, Sia, uh, Pankaj, and Ankita for good health and well-being. Christine Lam, may the obstacles for her well-being to be removed immediately so she can continue with her Dharma practice. For the removal of obstacles in Tale Lin's spiritual path, may all sentient beings find peace and ease in their daily life. May always benefit each other. May we never forget to be kind, even under the influence of anger and hatred. And for all sentient beings. It's part one. Oh, okay, part two. Okay, so also dedications. Ale, I think this might be Ale. Okay, so some of it's repeated, but we'll dedicate again. Do all three-time mannequins by ourselves, as well as numberless ascending beings, numberless Buddhas. We dedicate all this merit for the long lives of all our teachers, especially his Holiness Dalai Lama, Amzo Rinpoche, and may all their holy wishes become, succeed immediately right this second and be fulfilled. For all the IMI monks and nuns, may they reach enlightenment without obstacles. May all the IMI and FMT monasteries and nunneries, may they serve in accordance with all of Lama Kapji and Lamzo Rinpoche's wishes, especially Nalanda's projects like building the six-story Maitreya statue for Sierra Machik Labjong Nunnery in Australia for the obstacles to be removed, and for an IMI monastery and nunnery to come in the USA/Canada. For Maratika Monastery and staff, Ward Colette, Bian Colette, Yelmer Colette, for them all to have live with pure ethical conduct in their life, practicing bodhicitta and become wise. Also, for Mariette Bergmans, Piet Bergmans, and Ada Bergmans, for happiness in their life and interest in Dharma. Oh, and also one more who's recently passed away, Ms. Vu T. Kim Chow.
So the request from Moscow is we did for a young couple, Christina and Ilya, they passed away.
Okay, did you hear? So,
Christina and Ilya.
okay, so also, two more names we just received, those who passed away, and
Ilya.
Christina and Ilya. So them and all sentient beings who recently died may instantly be reborn in the pure land of the Buddha where they can achieve enlightenment, or at the very least attain a perfect human rebirth, meet with the Mahayana Gurus, Mahayana Dhamma, and attain enlightenment in their very next life. Okay. So, okay, yes. And so also, many of you know Venerable Sarah Thresher. Then she is also for her whole dedication list, right? She's right. Ale, for Venerable Sarah, and then everyone that has asked for Venerable Sarah to pray for her. She's doing extensive light offerings these days, so she also has a very long dedication list. And I think out of compassion for us, she didn't give it to us. But everyone on that list, may all their wishes be fulfilled right this second, according with Dharma. And then also for Steve yeah, who very generously sponsored so many of the altar offerings that you see here for him to have no obstacles to his practice, quickly achieve all the realizations, particularly bodhicitta and realization of emptiness and attain enlightenment in this very lifetime.
I was saying a lot of these things we can do on the last day of the
Okay. Yeah, what's that? For who?
For the staff.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So we also dedicate all to the American ourselves and all none of the sending beings, none of the Buddhas, for all those associated with Maratika Monastery, including all the various monks, all the teachers, all the sponsors, all the benefactors, all the staff who have taken care of us so kindly through this mini retreat. May they also have all their obstacles removed to practicing Dharma, and particularly Maratika Monastery. May this place become a great center of learning, Dharma wisdom, and realization. And then may everyone who maybe sees, hears, remembers, or visits this place, may they never again be reborn in the lower realms, quickly attain realizations of the path, particularly bodhicitta and emptiness, and achieve enlightenment as quickly as possible. She's associated with Maratika. She's staff, right? Chuti. Okay. So what? Chuti? Chu, huh? Choti. Choti. Who is, yes, on the staff, but she gets a special dedication because she's pregnant and about to give birth imminently. So, may her and all the pregnant women, may they, give birth without any complications and without severe pain. And then may all the children, grow up and receive a proper, good Dharma education. Uh, and from a very young age, be endowed with the wisdom of Dharma, particularly compassion for all sentient beings, and in their very next life, achieve bodhicitta realization of emptiness and the full state of enlightenment. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So now, for all those wishes to be fulfilled, we have the prayers for multiplying merit and to fulfill the wishes. Oh, chane nere shinja ba ja ja ma ya na ba zo be zang ya na ba na ze yu ki ja bo la cha se lo. Cha ju san ba chen bo kun du zang bo la cha se lo. Ta ta un te ge ya ma bo ni so a un du ju ja me ge so a. Ta ta un te ge ya bo ni so a un du ju me ge so a. Ta ta un te ge ya bo ni so a un du ju me ge so a. Ta ta un te ge ya bo ni so a un du ju me ge so a. Ta ta om tezgri ava borni soa on duru jamige soa ta ta om tezgri ava borni soa on duru jamige soa ta ta om tezgri ava borni soa on duru jamige soa chone de shisha baja chamba ya na baso be sange mingi la beju ye ugi ya pola cha sa lo chone de shisha baja chamba ya na baso be sange mo anda mo lam tamje rap jube ya pola cha sa lo due to the blessings of the eminent victorious ones and bodhisattvas, the intruder and infallible Returning and Rising, and the power of my pure special attitude taking responsibility. May all the aims of my pure prayers be accomplished. Uh, while the appearances, sounds, and the one which is knowing, being the deity, the mantra, and the Dharmakaya, manifest limitless actions in the holy bodies and transcendental wisdom, may my mind become one taste and drop of the holy mind, inseparable from the practice of that great, profound, secret yoga. Someone else says, yeah, especially maybe clarify on the very last day. Yeah. Is the session going to be abbreviated or like, what?
Right. Okay. Okay. So just a few announcements. First, those of you who have been with us before will know this, but some of you might, this might be your first Nyung Nä. So from tonight, when you go to sleep, then you start the fast. So no drinking, eating, talking. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, don't have a drink or don't speak. So then that will continue through tomorrow until Saturday morning. So Saturday morning, the first session, again, you're still in the fast. But then we finish the session and we take the Vaz water, and that's when we break the fast. So after that time, you can have a drink while we're doing the dedication prayers. It's okay. And then after that, of course, you're free of the fast. You can do whatever you like in terms of eating, though I always suggest to slowly reintegrate food. Don't just have a huge breakfast because you might feel sick afterwards. Have a little bit. In any case, we've decided we're going to do Lama Chopa so here right after the first session. So what that means is that we will finish the session on Saturday morning and have the dedication prayers and a little bit of a closing, say goodbye and maybe a little bit of advice, and then we'll finish everything. And then we said, I say 15 minutes later.
Well, I was actually thinking if we're going to do it, we should maybe do it like quite some time later because there's still people in like Europe that will be getting up.
I don't know, but then the people in Singapore can't do it. I think just we'll say 15 minutes later. That way you have a little time to have a little bit of food. And then if you like, it's perfectly optional. There's no necessity, of course, to come, but 15 minutes, we'll have a break, 15 minutes, so you can freshen up a bit and maybe have a little bit to eat. Then we'll come back and do Lama Chupatsok. It shouldn't take too long, if you like. And then tomorrow evening, what's happening tomorrow?
Okay, yeah. So a lot. we're gonna do a extensive light offering, probably around 9:30. Yeah.
And you're gonna film it.
Yeah, we're gonna live stream it. Then after that, we're gonna come back for 11:30 when the eclipse is on, we're going to do Vajrakara Sutra reading here. Then, I would encourage all of you to then do your favorite practices for the duration of the eclipse, but maybe we won't stream. Or what do you think?
Yeah, so
just the Vajrakara.
in case you didn't hear, so the point is that tomorrow evening is a lunar eclipse, which is said to be multiplication of merit, and also tomorrow is the anniversary of the Buddha's enlightenment, so it's a special day. So then we'll have a light offering at 9 p.m., followed by 11:30 is when the actual eclipse starts. There'll be the Vajrakara Sutra reading here. And then I guess some people are going to stay up all night doing practice. So that's perfectly optional, of course. Especially if this is the first Nyung Nä, it might be quite intense to do that. So I don't feel at any kind of obligation to do that. But this is just an option for people who would like to do that and be part of that. You can. So yeah, we can't announce it tomorrow because we won't be speaking. So hopefully it'll all be clear. Yeah.
So we're also going to, globally collect all of the Nunes to see how many we've done and then offer them. So people should write in.
Okay, so Venerable Namjing is saying that if you can on the last day, if you can write in and tell us, or write in whenever, I guess, tell us how many Nungnes you've done. So we're going to collect that and then have a global total and offer that to Rinpoche, to Lamas of Rinpoche and His Holiness Dalai Lama, whoever else we can offer it to, I guess. So yeah, just if you can tell us, because we don't know how many people are participating or how many of you doing the full Nungnes with us. So just let us know how many you've done. Tomorrow's, the schedule is the same as today, so we'll have the morning session at 4 a.m. Indian time. Oh yeah, but then the morning I mentioned 9 a.m. will be His Holiness's teachings, so that we won't have a session at that time. We'll have it a little later. So we're going to have the mid-morning session rather than having it at 8:30. We're going to have it at 11. Or if His Holiness teaching goes longer than 11, then we'll have it a little later. We'll have it whenever His Holiness teachings finishes. But if it finishes before 11, we won't actually start until 11, just so that we can get organized. And that session will be a little abbreviated, so we don't have to be too tired. So hopefully finish by about 1:30, and then we have a little, we have a break, and then at 3:30 p.m. we'll have the third session as usual, and hopefully finish by about 7 again. And then of course the last morning, the same. We'll have the session at 4 a.m. Indian time, and it will finish by around 6:30, actually about 7, because we do the dedications. It'll be a little longer. But as I said, you can drink once we've taken the buzz water, which will be around 6:30. Does anyone have any important questions before we close for tonight?
There was one announcement from Sepak.
Okay.
So after His Holiness ceremony for the Bodhisattva vows, they're going to recite the words of truth,
Okay.
and 10 Dharma. So they're saying to please have the text ready.
Okay.
And let your audience know about it. So those are actually available in the Jamchik Lamrim. They have an English prayer book.
Okay.
But we'll send it out.
Okay, so there's an announcement from Tenzin Sepak, His Holiness' translator, who's saying after His Holiness' teachings tomorrow, they will recite His Holiness' prayer, the prayer composed by His Holiness called Words of Truth, and also the prayer Ten Barma, which is the prayer that the teachings may blaze forth. Is that what it's called in English? Yeah. So those two prayers, Namdaka is saying, are available in the Jangchip Lamrim teachings, but we'll send them out. So they're saying they have them available tomorrow morning, so that after His Holiness' teaching, you can recite them together with everybody. So just lastly, and again to reiterate, this is a lot of information, a lot of things going on. So don't feel, that if it's too much for you, that's perfectly fine. And this is especially if it's your first day. The main thing is to focus on, your mind and working with your mind. It's not a matter of feeling I can't do that. I'm not, not worthy of practice. The main thing is, the fact that you're doing anything at all is excellent. And we hope that you can make it through it with us, and we'll see you tomorrow, but we'll actually be able to talk with you again on Saturday morning and say a little bit of a closing ceremony. So thank you all. I rejoice in everything everyone is doing. Thank you for being here. That's all. No other questions. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night.